These guys were in there to fight for thousands of people. 1 year down the line, are we doing anything to honor their legacy? Well, your guess is as good as mine. This morning, the team will be joining me as we discuss 1 year on. But we're also going to be having loads of other conversations on the platform this morning. After crying, we need a place to put our hearts. And every now and then, the conversations concerning where to sleep, how to sleep, where to get them, how cheaper to get them, and where exactly you can find them are things that we discuss every morning. This morning, we're going to be continuing on that tangent. We're going to be having one of the guys in the space join us. And then, of course, the BC results are out, and there have been a lot of conversations concerning the performance of both private schools and public schools. This morning, we're going to be privileged to have the president of the Private Schools Association of Ghana to have a conversation on these things. It looks like this has been going back and forth the last few years. What I'm told is that this year, the kids wrote the exam and did not choose their schools. They are going to choose, in fact, their results started coming in, I'm told, somewhere last week. So if you want to go to Infansipim like Doc, if you got a very good grade, then you know you are safe. If you got aggregate 5,000, and you're not, your parents may have to be calling KOJ, who has connections everywhere in this country, including the ministries. If you want your child to go to Achimota and Infansipim, call KOJ. He has contacts everywhere. Maybe he'll be able to assist you. But we are hearing that the private schools have some concerns in line with, I don't know whether it has to do with the performances or the results or things along those lines. This morning we would have the president of the organization, the private schools, join us to have a conversation. KOJ went to private school from Montessori level to junior high school. He didn't go to LA or DA primary school. As for Dog there, everybody knows Dada B from infancy and still enjoying. So, I mean, from all the Montessoris to Infansipim to Legon, just a big man. Even where he's worked at Dada B levels, he's worked at the ports. Oh, sorry, Fachemi. Fachemi. And now he's on the verge of becoming a lawyer. Just said that be from infancy. Wamreda. Patches or now. So this morning when we have yeah. And this morning when we meet the president of the association, we'll discuss all of this. But it's just approaching 6:30, so we'll continue with the newspapers conversations right away. KOJ is here, Doc is here. Hopefully, Les will be joining us this morning as well. This week, I've sent her to go and write exams. It's why she brutal. I'm sure if time permits, she will be joining us this morning as well. But we'd also want to hear from you, per the conversations that we'll be having and the issues that we'll be raising. This morning, we won't do the vloggers. Yesterday, but this morning we'll move on to other things, God willing. So be a part of these conversations. The WhatsApp number remains same: 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. Let's get into the newspaper conversations right away. Here, we'll get into the newspapers this morning. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. It's a sad day, but
Yes.
Charlie.
And we are hearing you.
Charlie, my bro. Charlie, my bro.
Hey, how do you go to Morocco and then just on arrival you lose your voice, my brother?
Charlie.
Yeah?
Yesterday I heard you fire me, sir. Oh, Charlie. The body is there, but the voice will not come.
Hey, yeah, several.
Chale.
But are you part of those people who thought that, hey, na Ubi na Ajemi voice?
Oh no, those are extreme stuff.
Eh.
I don't.
I told somebody now, the person said, hey, any hui.
I mean, they said there's a story in studio years ago. The guy was into rituals, and I'm told that the ritualist gave him a snake to keep it in his room. Now the snake got missing. Now he was looking for the snake, and he went to the police station.
How do you report it?
They said, officer,
Maybe be a
me why you? And the officer said, who are you then? I said, who are you? You have a snake, you. I said, who are you?
It reminds me of this bit as well. This must be maybe 10-15 years ago. If you're walking around circle and you by mistake touch somebody.
Yeah. Your genital vanish.
I don't know where that thing came from.
Yeah.
And
people who lost their life.
People were beating like for free. Like
years ago, but recently, I think a year or two. I think 2 years. 2 years ago, it started again. It came back again. Where Kaswa, I'm told, even
Kaswa,
it will happen in Kaswa. Where else?
Kwame Dwomoh reported in Kaswa. Reported that somebody's penis got lost. Yeah,
I was like, how?
They say you shake somebody.
Yes.
So when you shake the person,
Yeah.
it will get lost. It will shrink.
Yes. And then he gave that when your body touches anybody. I mean, so you
So you're walking in places like
especially
Seko or Accra, Kanishi, like those kind of places. You don't even want to touch somebody.
No.
Like you are walking on the edges just in case. Because the moment the person shouts, Aira, nobody is going to ask you anything.
No,
Before you realize
no.
everybody is pouncing on you.
Charlie.
I experienced one at Seko. I was just in shock. Like, this is like, and the guy was dressed like decently, were born a tie, like early morning. Clearly, he's going to work. Clearly. Then this guy just shouted, Mahira, my, and then before we knew it,
but that's a serious throwback. Yeah, no wonder today is Thursday, my brother.
This kind
That's a serious throwback.
I'm telling you, everything is possible. Everything is possible.
We've seen some things in this country, power. So I was telling the person that, my brother, don't go there.
Oh no.
In Class FM, in fact, Class Media Group. Or don't go. Nobody wants anybody say unless the person says Charlie. I'm leaving.
Weeks ago, I passed through Dakoma Nyameche, and I saw the school where I started my education, Christ Ebenezer Preparatory School.
Ebubu.
No.
And that's all.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it looks so beautiful. And I'm so excited. It
New
was
investors.
It was late in the evening. I think around after 8. And it was. I realized it was locked. I wanted to find out who was there because I wanted to see any of the officials there so that I can have a conversation.
New investors.
So I want to pay the school a visit.
Okay.
As a proud son of the school.
Just a visit.
Of course, Kwame. God has blessed me.
That's what I'm interested in. Not just a visit here.
No.
Why? So when you go there, then if per chance,
Yes.
I don't know if some of your old teachers may be there. Per
I hope
chance.
so. I hope so.
You know, per chance.
But the owner of the school, he's called Chief. I'm told he died years ago. I mean, he was the one that wrote my name. Yeah, wrote my name. When my dad spoke to him, he was the owner of the school, and he wrote my name on that very day. So Christ Ebenezer Preparatory School. If anyone knows any of the authorities, please they should get in touch so that I pay the school a visit. It looks so beautiful, and I was so proud when I saw the school, and I made him some Bob and boy say yes, this is where I started my education. Christ Ebenezer Preparatory School in Dakoma Nyameche, thereabouts. So I don't know why. So I want to pay the school a visit. So whoever knows any of the authorities should.
But why are you announcing your visit? Why are you announcing your visit?
I'm proud of my school. You see, when I mentioned the school, you said Ebubu. So you see, oh, Agbatomenyo, you wanted to laugh at me. You see?
Good to know that the school is still,
Oh yeah. I was so excited when I saw the school.
you know.
Kwame, me branch in the bubu, but the other branch.
Which branch?
Which branch?
I mean the particular suburb that I attended mine.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
What's the name of the school? Me, I'm proud of my school.
Sunbeam. Hey,
Okay, Sunbeam.
please, Sunbeam Preparatory School, my brother.
So near Google.
Odokordian.
Oh, Charlie. But Odoko
Odoko 4 and
reminds me
5.
of Saint Anthony.
Yes. So those days
I live not too far from there.
Yes. So those days it was St. Anthony, the one at the South Odoko, getting to Reverend Usu Bempes area. You know. That's St. Anthony. There was one at Latebi Okoshi. That was the main. And then they brought another one into that enclave, Aliu Mahama Road.
That one.
Yes. So that place is South Odoko.
Oh, okay.
So you get those days. It was St. Anthony. It was Sunbeam. It was
I didn't live
Way.
there for long, so it was
Radiant
just a
Way
few
and all
places
those
I knew.
schools
Yeah.
around. So it is a Sunbeam in Odoko or at Odoko, which is nowhere to be found now. But the other branches around Adenta and Kukrubiti and all that, I'm told, has still survived the time.
I think I've seen the one at Adenta.
But yours, is still there. Achimota there.
I was saying there.
You know Sunbeam, that's where
still
Raja
there.
attended school.
Who's your Raja?
Raja.
Which branch?
The one at Kukrubiti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just remember, yeah.
Okay.
That's where Raja attended school.
I see.
Class FM DBs. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure today is full of the sad stories, but
Unfortunately, the papers that I have, or we have here, it didn't capture that. But I'm sure the other mother papers, would have captured that. I have the new Republic and the Daily Democrats. I have the 24-hour economy. 24-hour newspaper. So if KGL has no copy, why should Fourth Estate? So that's a question posed by Razak Kuchupoku, School's Fourth Estate on RTI law over NLA KGL report. MPP insists.
we're still going back and forth on this case.
I shocked you.
Oh.
MPP insists on August 6 demo despite national mourning, a date that should be sacred. Because I tend to agree with this headline because I believe that today is a day that we are all mourning the 8 departed souls. And so one would have thought that this would be very insensitive for the part of the MPP to go at a demonstration, but it's a constitutional right, and so they have the right to do that. But I think that they should have thought it wise to rescind their decision of demonstrating today. Maybe they should have rescheduled that, but I mean, like I said, it's a constitutional right, so it is happening today. I'm told that they have already they started massing up at the Supreme Court. Ghana's democracy is thriving, not under siege. That's according to Professor Jampo, slamming calls for a demonstration that's against the New Patriotic Party. Boss Energies donate 1 million Ghana cedis to Ghana Medical Trust Fund to save lives. It comes to the photograph of the beautiful administrator for the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, known as Mahamake Obobia Dako Poku, and the managing director of Boss Energies is also here. The combat effect toasters back to life as new managing director pushes refinery restart. It comes to the photograph of the indefatigable hardworking lawyer Edmond Combat, managing director of Tema Refinery. Let's say good morning to him. Let's remind him that we are in August and we wish him well.
Yes. I mean, August is a very solid month.
Yeah.
So
and we wish him well.
yeah.
He should let us know where the hangout will be. So lawyer Edmond Combat, let's say good morning, very good morning to you. This is a very good one on the part of TOR, restarting or revamping our operations. That's it for the 24-hour newspaper. I'll take you to the new Republic Press front page. From AG's office to Galamsey Bonkers, Godfrey Damis snowballing scandals. Row from ambulance case to Angela List Adamus. Also on the front page of the New Republic, revealing the bloodlines Cocoa Board unveils sweeping reforms as nationwide stakeholder engagement begins on landmark Cocoa Board Bill 2026. 33 billion Ghana Cedi's legacy debts. New law to rescue ailing cocoa sector. It's also captured on in page 11 of the paper. Vice Chair race turns nuclear. Hamid versus not up to scratch trio. So Mustafa Hamid here, and then Chairman Buga is also here, and then the current national organizer of the MPP, Henry Nana Boache, Nana B, Kwame Dwomoh's classmate, I'm sure will be rooting for him, and then the current director of communications, Richard Anyagba, is also contesting to be the vice chair of the New Patriotic Party. Deportation bid backfires. CID Interpol run amok as Guinean asylum seeker vanishes. It's also on the front page of the paper. I take you to the Daily Democrat. Gamanche pledges support for Ghana Medical Trust Fund. To say the man is really touring. Really touring. We wish him well. Sami Jemfi strips Kofi Bento naked. Over 200 million Ghana Cedi likes. So we've seen a post by Kofi Bento, the Vice President of Imani Africa, and Sami Jemfi, lawyer Sami Jemfi, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Gold Board, debunking that those assertions by Kofi Bento. Gold Board is Ghana's gold story. Let's build it together, not tear it down. That's according to Prince Kwame Minka, who is the Director of Communications or PRO for Gold Board. PR Akasa, PR. Pentecost University lecturer hails Mahama's 2 million Ghana Cedi for price cut. MOFA, that's Ministry of Food and Agriculture, backs REDN graduates to advance feed Ghana. So that's the story. The papers I have this morning, Kwame.
Okay, Doc, what do you have?
Yes, Kwame, I have the Catalyst newspaper before me this morning. And the front page of this paper, Ghana Medical Trust Fund extends a hand to prisons. And the story is on page 8. And it comes with the administrator of the Mahama Care, as well as the head of the prisons. Sami Jemfi shares Bentel's 200 million Ghana Cedis claim. The story is on page 2. 5 legal errors that destroyed the Sedina Tamaklo conviction. Court of Appeal identifies effective charges, weak evidence, and burden shifting as fatal failures. That story is on page 2 of the paper. Pentecost University lecturer hails Mahama's fuel price cut as strategic and timely. That story is on page 3 of the Catalyst newspaper. Again, I have the Spider with me here, and the Spider newspaper. We are the Spider in your home as their tagline. Ghana bets on AI. Get fund UNESCO seal deal to digitize TVET. That's why it's on page 3. Countdown to August 26. Ghana moves to unlock voter lakes billions. VRA, GIIF, 24-hour plus secretariat begin high stakes talks on master concession agreement as chief of staff warns negotiators. NDC in the spotlight. Roadmap, raw, and a chairman's riddle. Asidun Ketia keeps rivals guessing. That's why it's on page 6 of the paper. Kwekese threatens protest over death trap road. Okay, so that's why it's on page 3. And homecoming hero Agotime Betoys Professor Kofi Koda named principal of St. Francis College. That's why it's on page 6 of the paper. The back page has some sports news here, particularly soccer. Ghana's Caleb Irenchi set for record-breaking 30 million euros move to Coventry City.
Oh, that's a good one. That's where that guy, what's the guy's name?
Brandon
plays, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think they're back. They are in the
Yes, they are back in the Premier League this season. Yeah.
I see. House of Folk goalkeeper Solomon Agbasi nears move to South Africa's Stellenbosch FC. So that's what we have at the back page of the paper. I don't know.
Okay.
Did you do daily guide?
Okay, so I've got the headlines of
Okay.
a few of them online. So if I could quickly do that, starting with the Daily Guide newspaper. So I have on the front page, the story has also been going back and forth. This thing about the Obuasi senior high school students beating the headmaster over, and one of the papers is even reporting something that appears to be the place where the baby was buried. So there's a story here on the front page of the Daily Guide. Obuasi Senior High School technical students beats headmaster over baby. Burial claims 6, we are told, have been arrested. There's a photo here of one Abdullah Zakaria. Also on the front page of the Daily Guide, Sedina Tamaklu still caged, according to the Minister for Government's government spokesperson Felix Kwachu Fosu. NPP NDC lock horns over democracy demo copter crash anniversary. There's a photo here of Nanabi and Rashid Tanku computer. And also on the front page, Achimota Forest prayer camp fee increased to 10 cedis. Who's charging that? So when people go and pray, that they pay?
1 cedi.
To who?
To the assembly there. And those who keep the place.
I thought the place is for Forestry Commission. So why would the assembly be collecting money?
Yeah, so I'm just speculating.
I never knew people pay to go and pray there.
Definitely, yes.
Because the gate is always open. Even this morning when I was coming to work, I pass there every day. The gate is always opened. And I don't remember ever seeing anybody.
Go to account to us, so we'll speculate. And then we'll get the person who's been taking the money. Come on.
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that.
You would see people selling water, stuff like that. But I don't like this. It's opened. You can. It's not, the gate is not hidden. You see the gate opened.
They paid in advance.
In this country, everything is possible. On the front page of the Chronicle newspaper, 2 caged for trafficking 11 Nigerians. IMF warns Ghana over reliance on gold exports. They say it's very dangerous. Complete existing Accra Kumasi highway to save lives, according to the minority. And there was a gory accident that I saw videos and pictures. Was it on Tuesday or so? It didn't look good at all. The front page of the Archives newspaper has the story on the Obuasi Sectec issue, and then also on the front page, Bosomtwe Forest Reserve Galamsey terrorist remanded. On the front page, also, you have Youth Ministry, DTI partner for industry-driven skills training, and rented ghetto boys and girls lead MPP demo today. Yeah, yesterday I heard a doctor discussing it. If you've been hired to go for the demo, please ensure that you collect your chop money. Don't wait and you are telling. Yeah, and they should know the purpose for which they are there. They shouldn't wait and come and tell us, "Oh, by and way, now when you're so."
So far, there. What have you received from the organizers?
Serious.
I think guys, who are going to free? I'm going to free
Everyone.
Waka. On the front page of the National Voice newspaper, Democracy and Attack. Demo to head Accra today to defend constitutional rule. There's a photo here of Nanabi and some executives of the party. Dr. Sina Gerard, and there's a Taj Changemaker of the Year. And also on the front page, Bank of Ghana's gold board operations suffered up to 1.7 billion US dollar losses in 2025, according to IMF. The story, I'm sure, will go back and forth this week, because every now and then there's a story of a loss somewhere. It's debunked, it comes up again, it gets debunked again. Let me move on to the National Enquirer newspaper. You have the 8 heroes who passed on last year, sadly. We still remember them. The 3 officers are here. Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Sergeant Ernest Adomensa, Flying Officer Chum Ampedu, together with the former Member of Parliament for that Obuasi enclave there, Samuel Abuaji, here as well. And then you have Dr. Edward Omani Boama, you have Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, Alaji Mohammed Limuna, and then you have Dr. Samuel Sapon, all of them here. Our hearts and our thoughts are with your families at this very, very difficult time. And then there's also the story of the Gamanche throwing his support behind the Ghana Medical Trust Fund and pledging support. So these are the stories on the newsstands this morning. Make your way to any vendor, make your way to any of these stands and go grab a copy. Kyoji, let me start with you. Which stories are we looking at?
Yes. So you touched on the Obuasi story. And according to the Deputy Minister for Education, Dr. Clement Apak, social media, substance abuse contributing to indiscipline among students. So the Deputy Minister for Education, Dr. Clement Apak, has attributed rising cases of indiscipline among students to the negative influence of social media, abuse of mobile phones, and the use of narcotic and unapproved substances. His comments follow reports that some students of the Obasi Senior High and Technical School in the Ashanti region allegedly assaulted the headmaster of the school over claims that a baby's body had been buried on the school campus. Speaking in an interview, Dr. Park said several factors were contributing to misconduct among young people, including exposure to harmful content online and the influence of peers. I quote, but some of the issues that came up, and I believe some to be true, are one, negative influence of social media and the abuse of modern cell phone. He added, according to him, easy access to disturbing content online had made some young people believe they could engage in a similar act without facing consequences. The Deputy Minister also raised concerns about the growing use of narcotics and unapproved substance among young people, warning that the problem extends beyond senior high schools. Dr. Park said the issue affects young people at different levels of education, including junior high schools and universities. He cautioned that some substance marketed as energy drinks could contain harmful combinations of substances that negatively affect the behavior of young people. And of course, yesterday, I think Dr. Charles Smith talked about the we drink.
I was following that conversation.
Charles talked about we I baby biscuits in a shaman.
The ones he used to take.
In a shaman and all that. I think yesterday there was a story about one of the universities.
Yeah. Kufuria.
Technical University.
Yeah.
Crazy.
They were arrested
SRC
10.
week.
Yes, they were arrested 10.
I mean, SRC, they were trading.
Was it the one to do with a 23-year-old lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, that apparently she was the one
something like that.
behind.
Yeah.
They were trading narcotics as part of the SRC week.
Infused into drinks and ice cream and all that.
Okay, how did we get here? In our days, of course, they were bad people, they were bad boys and all that, but we didn't hear
Toffee, cake.
we cake.
And to think that it was a lady.
We did that for
but those things, but who is supposed to sell them?
No,
Those infused drinks and ice cream.
There are some
As
things.
is the ladies now.
I mean, respectfully, I'm not saying that a lady cannot do that. No, but I mean, in our part of the world, a lot of these things are attributed to the guys.
Yeah.
So when you hear a lady in that kind of business,
Mami,
nah, boom.
The things the ladies drink lately, my brother. You don't go to town. You see, I've been telling you to be going to places.
Listen, doesn't take me like.
This time,
Instead
the
of
men
taking, we should be going vlogging and doing recording
those
the
things that the
presidents.
men will take and do, the women will take and my brother. Hey, it's serious. It's very, very serious. And if you like open your phone line, you hear things in your ears. Your callers will call. And you hear. I said the things that the women
Where
will
do
take
they,
and
where do
smile.
they get them?
It's the man that's
Wow.
introducing them to it.
Which
And then
one?
they
Which
take
one is
over.
the men? Which men?
After introduction, then they take over.
Yes.
How can you be more champion than your leader? Or your
It's the man that introduced
So,
this
Maza.
for
women
instance,
into
I'm coming.
this thing.
which one do you agree with her?
I'm coming. So, for instance, if you go to the street, the boys feed, protect, and take care of the ladies who are also on the street. Right? Now the lady,
Well, have you been on the street before? You're a street boy.
we came from the streets.
Okay.
Don't say that.
Right? The ladies who, sorry to say, who do not have better place to sleep, are being taken care of, these street boys. Subsequently, they would have child with or kids with these guys on the streets. For the fear of the guy leaving her, the guy can influence the lady that, look, this is what I've been doing in the past and I've survived it. So join me. It's either you join me or I I separate with you. Now the ladies' fear of living on the streets alone would also adhere to the consent or the directive from these guys. Now they become hardened drunkards and part of the deal in narcotics. So you see lots of guys on the street now, and you see many of these ladies as well. Their boyfriends and girlfriends.
We know the consequences of these things. Of all the things that you can possibly do in this world, why that one?
Weed.
Yeah, why that one? Why that's one?
Why you chose
Of all the
journalism-
things that you could possibly
I
do.
mean, you chose journalism
Uh-huh.
as part of the many of the possible things you are talking about.
Yes.
They decided that for some reasons they are unable to achieve a target they've set for themselves.
With all the risk associated with us.
I mean, you think they don't know the risk? They know. But last time we were talking about social interventions for the youth. Unfortunately, if there are no social interventions that will take them off the streets, they will continue to engage in illicit activities, which includes drugs and narcotics. And so they feel so safe on the streets. Sorry to say, the lady, when Miracle Sabadi paid a visit to the ghettos, the lady who was captured in that video, ask yourself, why is she there? Why is she in the ghettos? Probably she's engaged or she's in a relationship with a ghetto boy. Unfortunately, when I saw I was heartbroken when I saw the lady behaving that way, because very beautiful lady.
Munyimi papa mami.
Very, I mean, very beautiful lady. But unfortunately, something led her to the ghetto.
And she has 3 kids actually.
With who?
With who?
Okay. Is it with you? With the ghetto
With
boy?
you, with you.
You're asking with who? With the ghetto boy. So,
I'm asking with who because how in God's name with, and I'm not saying she can't do that, but with someone like that, bring up a child.
I mean,
Someone like who?
a circumstance led her to.
No, wait. Someone like who?
The lady I saw in that video.
This is an educated lady.
Watodo.
We'll bring her here. Don't worry. I am told,
educated lady. But
very educated. She speaks well.
There? Why?
Have you
there?
heard her speak?
Something led her to.
At least I heard her say something in that video.
Apart from the Munyimi papa mami, no.
She said a few things in English and she sounded very
Very in
coherent.
fact,
Let
she
me
said
put
she
it
had,
that way.
She had completed, I think she started tertiary or something, or she was in, I think she did level 100, 200 or something. And in fact, I'm saying that we'll bring her here. Don't worry. Only that, this lady, Gifty Enang Bedevi, and kudos to her. Gifty Enang Bedevi and some other ladies have volunteered. Now they are taking her to rehab. Yes. I the video is here. I can show it to you. They are taking her. They are soliciting for funds from politicians, and you see, in that particular video, she was even calling out Miracles to bring money add to their effort to take the girl, because she was doing Munyim Papa Mami because of you, and that's how come people got to know that how is it this girl behaving or why has she ended up in that ghetto? She's a mother of 3. Munyim Papa Mami girl. And she see the way she looks. very pretty girl.
She
like Lizzie. Yeah.
So that's what I'm coming to. She's not different from Lizzie as she sits here. But something led her to that place. And she has 3 kids. Obviously, not with a politician, but with a ghetto boy. So a ghetto boy first saw her, took her to the ghetto because she was vulnerable. And that has led her to her being part of the ghetto.
Show it to Kwame.
Surely, I can just imagine who is taking care of the kids.
You get it?
As the woman
It's a great move, and I commend Gifty
Gifty
and her ladies who have taken up.
So the father of the kids might be selling weed, or might be selling, or might be doing all sort of things that the ghetto boys.
Or might be a very wealthy person, but is shedding responsibility. And so the lady would have to
it
survive
could be a
whichever way.
combination of things.
Yeah.
I mean, when all of us were in secondary school at some point, when you heard of a story or anything of a sort of one of your mates being involved, these were the boys who thought they were the hard boys,
Yeah.
like Charlie, killers in
Yeah.
the school and all of that, and they could get involved in whatever. Every now and then somebody's caught, every now and then somebody's punished, every now and then somebody's even expelled from the school or somebody's debodinized, something like that. But these days, and I was listening to the story Charles was sharing. I don't know how widespread it is in Ashaman, but he seemed to be very confident. I mean, Charles is very familiar with that area, so he seemed to be very confident about what he was saying. I mean,
Ashaman
when he
donkey.
mentioned the biscuits, when he mentioned the toffee,
Yeah.
and he said he even knows the places in Ashaman where it's done, and he even did a story about kids going to school and sleeping in the classroom and all of that. Then in my mind, I'm thinking this has been going on for a very long time. But for some reason, maybe we are not doing enough, or maybe somebody is not paying attention. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, we are not doing enough. At least now we have a Ministry of Gender, Social Protection,
Children and social
Children, something. I don't know if some of these things fall within their purview, or now we have a Ministry of Youth as well. I don't know if Pablo and his team can do something.
Yeah. But they should,
If they
because-
have a
because
budget
they-
for
They're
that.
advocating for the Stop Red initiative, and it falls under that initiative. So the Ministry of Youth and the Ministry of Youth has agencies under. So the NYA, YEA, all these agencies should have social intervention programs that will benefit the ghetto youth.
But we see them as Echo, we see them in Accra, we see them in all these ghettos,
Yeah.
we see them daytime, we see them. It doesn't look like most of them are getting any kind of help. We see them every day. If you go to Seko right now, you see them there. Some are lying on the pavement in the middle of the street there. You see someone standing by Pila Nwada, like daytime. And I mean, the person looks like it. You walk through Accra, you walk through Kwaliwoko, those areas, Palladium, those areas. You see them broad daylight. So is it that maybe we are not paying attention to them? Is it that there's no money to attend to them? Is it that funding is not enough to
We are just not paying attention.
rehabilitate people?
We are just not paying attention to them.
And
Because
we have only one Accra psychiatric center. So if they can't admit you as well, then where would you go?
even if they admit you at a Accra Psychiatric Hospital or whatever, you become more mentally challenged, because that place itself is a challenged hospital.
The
They
last
are
time I
dealing with
heard the
lots of
boss,
challenges.
is it Professor Asari or Dr. Asari or so? They're always complaining of Sikasem.
Yeah.
Because a certain ministry is failing to refurbish that place. There
Oh,
was
now they've
plan-
done something.
Oh,
And
Oh,
Ufa Wache.
3D wall.
And I'm going Ufa Wache.
3D wall.
At least last week, just
Oh,
last
it's
week,
well
I passed
branded.
there
Eh,
from the
well
wall,
branded,
and I'm
like-
told the inside too, they've done some things.
They have proper beds now.
I didn't go
The
inside.
bed. Okay.
I beg you. But that's what I know some nurses who work there. They say,
Okay.
"Oh, CIA are fine."
So they are okay. The nurses are okay now.
I can't speak.
Let me take you
Anyway, let's move on.
Since we're talking about health, University of Ghana Medical Center has rejected Michael Blankson's claims over death of 83-year-old mother. So the University of Ghana Medical Center has rejected allegations by Ghanaian American comedian Michael Blankson regarding the care provided to his late 83-year-old mother at the facility, describing the claims circulating on social media as containing numerous inaccuracies. In a statement issued on August 5, that's yesterday, the hospital said it had reviewed the concerns raised by Mr. Blankson and concluded that his public account did not accurately reflect the circumstances surrounding his mother's treatment. Mr. Blankson on August 4 shared a video on social media in which he criticized the hospital's management over the care provided to his mother, who died at the facility on July 16, 2026. In the video, the comedian alleged that his mother received poor care, was repeatedly misdiagnosed. That's a very serious allegation. Misdiagnosed, and that some hospital staff appeared more focused on payment than her well-being. UGMC expressed condolences to Mr. Blankson and his family, but rejected the allegations. I quote, "We wish to state unequivocally that the facts presented by Mr. Blankson on social media contain numerous inaccuracies and do not accurately reflect the events that transpired at in the provision of medical care the hospital said, according to UGMC, the patient was referred from another hospital and received care at the facility from May 27 to July 16, 2026, a period about 8 weeks. The hospital, however, declined to disclose details of the patient's diagnosis, treatment, or medical records, citing that it's illegal and ethical responsibility to protect patient's confidentiality even after death. So that's what the hospital is saying. So they are rejecting the claims by Michael Blankson that his late mother was not properly handled by the hospital. The hospital was focusing on pay this, pay that, instead of taking very good care of the mother. Well, we can't really ascertain what really
exactly. Some of these issues you don't want to comment. And go and say something that may,
especially when the medical reports cannot be public. So you can't really ascertain, okay, per the autopsy reports,
this and this. Because I've seen the video where he's even saying that he paid or he spent about 250,000. I've seen a short clip like that, and well, I was not focused on the money because depending on the ailments of or the service you want, people are paying far more money than this amount. I mean, he said his mom was in hospital for 8 weeks.
8 weeks,
You meet people and people are selling properties to take care of their, so these things are very, these things are very, give me the word, very,
Anyway.
Let me do last one before Doc comes in. Sammy Jefe strips Kofi Bento naked. That's on page 3 of the Daily Democrat. Over 200 million Ghana cedi lies. So the chief executive officer of the Ghana Gold Board, Sammy Jefe, has forcefully dismantled claims circulating on social media that 200 million Ghana cedis belonging to the institution has been stolen, describing the allegation as false, baseless, and deliberately misleading. In a blistering response, Sammy Jefe questioned whether a Facebook post carrying the allegation genuinely originated from lawyer and vice president of Imani Africa, Kofi Bento, saying he found it difficult to believe that a senior legal practitioner would publish such claims without first verifying the facts. I quote, "I do not believe that Kofi Bento, the Kofi Bento I know, will be this gullible, naive, and reckless," he stated. Sammy Jefe categorically rejected suggestions that Gold Board had lost 200 million Ghana cedis or that anyone had absconded with such funds. According to him, Gold Board has not lost a single cedi, insisting that the widely circulated claims are entirely false. So that's what Sammy Jefe posted. But I know for a fact that according to the audit reports, the 2025 audit reports submitted, Gold Board never ran at a loss. They rather had surplus of 909 million.
I don't know if you've seen the story by the story attributed to the IMF.
Yes, they've lost some
$1.7
billion.
This
purchases
gold, the gold area in Kasano. I remember, was it last year that there was a $214 million story?
Yeah.
That one was also supposedly a loss.
Yeah.
And then I remember CU Jenfi came out to, tell the story pretty much. And then about 2 or 3 days, I didn't hear anybody talk about it again until I saw these. And Mr. Bento likes to put a lot of these things on Facebook. So I saw these comments on his Facebook wall and I was like, can someone give us clarity to these things? Because it cannot be a case of Lizzie says I'm a thief and then everybody says I'm a thief.
No.
And then there's no evidence or justification to show that I am a thief. And then we'll talk about it for 1, 2, 3 days, then we'll die. And then everybody will go to sleep. There has to be clarity to these things. Yeah.
So the 2025 audit report says that they had a surplus of 909 million Ghana cedis, which means they made profits, according to the 2025 audit report. So I'm looking at the loss in terms of what? When they were trading the gold, was where they lost that amount, or they were expecting that amount and they lost that deal, or it was a loss in terms of procedural or administrative monies or loss being incurred.
What is Mr. Minka saying about this? Because I remember you read something in that regard.
Yeah. It says that Gold Board It's Ghana's good history. He's looking at the fact that we shouldn't run down the company because it is making some impact as far as the economic recovery is concerned. So we shouldn't toe a line of we should bring that office down, but we should rather help build that.
I mean,
office.
all of us here, unless we want to, I won't pretend as if I know everything that is happening there. But I over the years, I mean, PMMC was there.
Yeah.
If you are familiar with Accra Central, it was some small organization be hiding in some corner somewhere around the Accra Central area, and we've seen the operations of the same gold board move from PMMC to the old Ghana, Bank of Ghana, and we have seen the impacts of that industry on the Ghanaian economy. What happens inside the building, I don't know.
Yeah.
But every now and then, we read the stories. Gold board doing this, investing money into this, pumping money into this, generating this level of revenue, contributing to, our GDP and all of that. So it cannot be that in one breath, all of these things are happening. Then in another breath, every day you wake up, they have made a loss here. They have made a loss here. And then, like I said, after 2 or 3 days, the story will just die. And then nobody comes to explain with some kind of clarity. And then another 6 months later, somebody would also resurrect something. And then we are going back and forth. Anyway. Maybe Mr. Minkan would address these things going forward. Okay, let's.
Have you guys touched on the 1 year anniversary today?
No,
On the
I just mentioned it. Yeah, so we can go into that.
yeah. So the New Patriotic Party has released a statement to
Again,
Nobody have cancelled their demonstration.
No.
no, they haven't. Because on my way, I saw people going. They haven't cancelled it.
So the statement by the New Patriotic Party on the first anniversary of the helicopter tragedy and the lives lost in the service to Ghana. So they say 1 year ago on 6th August 2025, Ghana suffered one of the most painful losses in her recent history. A military helicopter traveling to Obuasi went down in the Adanse area of the Ashanti region, and all 8 patriots and compatriots on board perished. The Minister for Defense, Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah, the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Alhaji Ibrahim Muntala Mohammed, the Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, Dr. Samuel Sapon, Mr. Samuel Abuaji, and 3 gallant crew of the armed forces who flew them. This week, beginning with the memorial lecture on the 4th of August and in the National Memorial Service, the unveiling of the cenotaph and the nationwide blood donation service. Let me go to the what they are calling for. So grief has no party colors. The New Patriotic Party joins the government, the Ghana Armed Forces, the bereaved families, and all Ghanaians in mourning and in tribute. Those who perished included senior figures of the governing party. We say without reservation their deaths were a loss to the whole public, and their family grieves in Ghana's grief. We commend every Ghanaian taking part in the week's activity and encourage participation in the nationwide blood donation exercise, fitting and life-giving tribute. How they died, so we must also remember why they were in the air that morning. They were flying to Obuasi in the service of a national mission, the fight against illegal mining and the destruction of our lands and rivers. They did not die at rest. They died at work in pursuit of a cause the whole nation has declared urgent. That is why the New Patriotic Party respectfully submits that commemoration alone is not enough. The truest tribute to the departed is not a wreath or a lecture. It is a result in the cause for which they gave their life. 1 year on, the government owes the nation an account of the gains made in that fight. We therefore call on government to use this week of remembrance to answer with evidence the questions the departed would themselves have asked. What is the state of our rivers and water bodies today compared to 1 year ago? How many forest reserves remain under assault and how many have been reclaimed? The nation is equally entitled to a full update on the official investigations into the crash itself, its findings, the safety recommendations made, and the measures taken to protect all who serve and travel in the service of the public so that no family endures such a loss again. Remembrance is a ceremony but a duty. The New Patriotic Party will honor that duty. We will keep the questions of the Galamsey fight and the accountability for the mission our departed compatriots served before Parliament and before the nation until the answers are given. May the souls of the departed eight rest in perfect peace. May their families find comfort, and may Ghana prove worthy of their sacrifice. Signed by the General Secretary of the party, Justin Kodua Frimpong.
But they are still going ahead with the demonstration.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's insensitive on the part of the MPP, because I mean, once we acknowledge that it was a tragedy that happened a year ago, it was only fair and well, very sensitive that you commiserate with the nation, not just the family of these affected people, but the entire nation. Because I remember when the incident happened, they shared their heartfelt message to the nation. And so once you are doing this, it is only in the interest of the nation, because it was a fight against galamsey that led to this death. I mean, so if you want to demonstrate, it's a constitutional right, but it's only fair that you exercise some sense of sensitivity to this tragic that happened a year ago. So yes,
If they do it tomorrow, or if they do it next week, nothing.
It wouldn't change anything. It's still your so-called democracy and attack demonstration. Yesterday I said it that I think they should just suspend it. But
that's what I'm asking. If they do it tomorrow, or if they do it on Monday or Tuesday, would they lose $1 million?
No. Unfortunately, they have been so insensitive to go about with this demonstration.
And for me, the statement even makes it worse. Their decision to decide to go on the demonstration today.
Yeah.
When you acknowledge all of the things that you have said.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So we hope that, once we're on that.
You can't in one breath say all the things that you have said and you don't sympathize. I mean, we are not, for want of a better word, we Africans, and we understand these things in a certain way. How we commiserate with people who have lost their family and all of that. These 8 people, yes, people may say, oh, we don't even have any relationship with anything like that. But we all remember what happened on that day. What they were going to do. They could have slept in their houses.
Yeah.
They could have done something else. They were on a national assignments. And we lost all of these people tragically. So if the demonstration being moved to tomorrow or Monday would not cause you to lose your life, or would not cause you to lose $10 million, at least show some empathy. At least, if they do it today,
Yeah, you see, especially when yesterday, Mutale's house up north.
I saw that story too, and I was like,
it's serious.
What is all this?
What kind of problem is this?
Sat, this morning to reflect on the death.
Yeah, well, for the accounts, yes, these things, 1 year celebration here and there, but per the religion of Mutala and the others who are the Islamic religion, for them they also have their own way.
They'll probably sit as a family,
and reflect.
Yes.
Unfortunately, his house was razed down, bent totally. They couldn't just pick anything from that house yesterday. It was quite unfortunate. I was watching it on TV, and I mean 1 year on, and then this one also come. And this morning also, I was listening to some of his deliveries on the floor of the house. And
the audios are there, but some of these things when you play them.
Yes, I mean this morning when you started the show with that, I said, "Hey, Charlie, today this morning."
Because the last time I engaged Mutala, for example, he was sitting working.
In his jalabia.
And he's always. He always has energy, even if it's 6 o'clock in the morning. When you engage, his energy is always high. I remember that day we were supposed to have done the interview in like 30 minutes because he had to go for a meeting, but he still decided to come here.
Yeah.
The 30 minutes flew like 2 minutes because he always had something to say. And before we knew it, we had done that interview for 1 hour 15 minutes. He said, "Let's go ahead." And then I think he texted the people who were waiting for him that
he was a great guy. He was a great guy. Even in Parliament, he's not one of those MPs who meet you in a lift and tell you that, "Are you an MP?" No. Who's it?
Oh, that's MP. Who is the minister? If you meet
Who tell you, are you an MP?
Why would I even
Why are
bother
you
to
in
ask
the lift?
somebody
You cannot
You
join.
feel so
You
big.
cannot be in the lift
in
with
a
him.
lift?
Yes.
A public lift?
Oh, you don't know that
You
minister?
cannot be in the lift with him.
You don't know that minister? The one who works like an airplane.
This country.
The
too.
two of you cannot be in that
Oh,
elevator
Oh,
Why?
you
because
don't
it's
know that.
are you an MP?
hey.
So either
I'm hearing this for the first time.
either he goes for the elevator to come and pick you alone, or share,
You
master.
see, this is our country.
So
things
this is
happen
somebody.
everywhere.
This
Lifts.
is yes.
Lifts.
Yes.
That MP.
And Mutala was not that kind of an MP. I have met him severally in the elevator in Parliament, severally. And when he sees you, he's so hearty. Oh, bro, what's up?
The brother doesn't even look like an MP. Like in the real sense of the word. He's always in
Down
very
to earth.
simple clothing, if I can put it that way. Yeah.
He has some handbag and
I
stuff
don't think
like
I ever
that.
saw him in a suit. I'm not sure. I ever saw him in a suit.
Yes, I have seen him, but it's not something that is regular.
Yeah.
No, he will do his kaftan and
It was
or
just
jalabia,
like on a
very
jaga.
very beautiful jalabia fit for parliamentary sittings, and he will be there. Or his batakari is gone. Okay.
You asked a very important question this morning about
The lessons.
the lessons learned,
Yeah.
the
Lessons
impact
learned, yeah.
on the fight against Galamsey.
KG, you know the answer now.
Because a year on, this morning I chanced on a post by Stan Dogbe, where they were having a conversation with Omani that morning, I think around Kempiski. Then he asked him, "Do you really need to go?" Then he said, "I need to go and support Boa." You know, so that sense alone,
Boa as in
as
the
in
former.
Amakofi Boa,
Okay.
because the last minister,
Yeah.
so you have to go and support him. You know, Boase.
He, I'm told, left, I think, the day earlier or so.
Yeah.
If he had gone with them.
So
Charlie.
unfortunately, in his quest to help the nation fight against Galamsey, he lost his life whilst the activity is still happening. And so I like the question you asked: how are authorities dealing with the lessons, or is there any a lesson for us to learn? If there is, what can we describe the impact of Galamsey now? Because we understand that the 9 months, for instance, Colonel Boa has been. Is that 9 months?
And Boa,
Kenneth Boa
he's
also-
been changed though.
Yes. That's 9 months, right?
Yes, 9 months. Yeah.
He's
Do you
been
have court
changed.
money?
He's been changed,
Be very
and
careful
there
about
was
what you
no
say.
public announcements.
Do you have court money?
There was no look. We are fighting Galamsey, and there was no public announcement as to why Kenneth Boa was changed. They said it's a routine exercise. He will come back. Or maybe
Redeployment.
we know
Redeployment.
that a new person has been appointed, because you understand that Kenneth Boa was not allowing the people to do Galamsey.
Alleged.
That's what I'm saying.
So are you alleging that this one will allow them?
We're told that the reason Kenneth Boa was changed because when he catch the people, they will call the big man will say, "Massa, my boy that, release him," then they are being released. So they are allegedly bringing in a soft hand person to deal with illegal mining. Then it means that the people who died, they've died in vain. Very, very unfortunate. And so please, people are still engaged in illegal mining. Emmanuel Amakofiba last 2 or 3 weeks ago addressed the media and says that the Red 9 Forest Reserve has been taken back by the states. It is no more red. I think we had 9 red zones.
Yeah.
Now they've taken back all the 9 red zones to green or blue. But what is the state now? What is the direction of the ministry? What is the direction of NIMOS? What is the direction of COMSDEM? As far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned? Because if there's no lessons learned, then Omani Boma's death and the rest of the 7 can be described as a foolish death. If the country is still battling with the canker god Galamsey, then it's a problem for us, Kwame.
Indeed. And I agree
On
with you.
Monday, I even put it on our morning show, our WhatsApp platform. our brother Erastus Asaridanko, who has been following these things. So he posted a video. When I watched the video, I didn't know whether to laugh or to cry. So this was a place around Apedra Achim in the Buakwa South constituency in the eastern region. So it's not far from here. And there was the mining or the Galamsey is actually going right behind the Apostolic Church at Apedra. And if you are familiar with Apedra, it's just by the road. Yeah. The Galamsey is going on right behind the church. Somebody would have sanctioned this. And you see, the thing about Galamsey is that you can't hide it. We will see it. Whether somebody is walking in the area. You were here when, sorry, there was a lady who called into the show, must be the week before I went on leave, that she went to a school around, Akema Safu. That area. That school by the roadside as you are going to Linda Door. That the thing was happening live behind the girls' dormitory. She went to visit somebody there, and the thing was happening live.
Imagine.
There's no assemblyman, there's no MC, there's no MP, there's no chief, there's no headmaster. Massa, we are not children in this country. We are not children in this country.
Because during the funeral of these gallant men, the clarion call was just one. The death should serve as an advice or a caution to anyone engaging in illegal mining. But I mean, that clarion call looks like has been shut down by these operatives. And President Mahama, in one of his engagements, said that when we arrest the people working for the kingpins, we will not have any headway as far as the fight is concerned. Because the kingpins are there. Those funding Galamsey are there. But we are arresting the people who get the Nuku fuel. If you arrest them, that is not the fight against Galamsey. So Namos can catch 25,000 people engaged in Galamsey. But if you don't get the kingpin, the one funding the Galamsey, then it's not a fight against Galamsey. But do we know the kingpins? Number one.
We don't know them.
Oh, by this time, I'm tempted to believe that we don't know them. Because we've not
like
arrested.
In this country, we don't know them.
Yes, because we have not arrested.
We know them, but we haven't arrested them.
Are you privy to information that they've arrested a kingpin?
Lizzie, give him the list. Give him the list.
But safe to say, I mean, we can say that one kingpin has been incarcerated.
Why?
That's my chairman.
But his issue has been there since.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, for me, okay, you are entitled to, but I don't want to count him. No, I don't want to add him to the list of the kingpins.
Why?
So his issue is that he has a company.
Please.
Oh,
No, don't go into those areas. Don't go into those areas.
Coming.
Is he not a kingpin?
I'm coming.
He's my chairman.
He has a company and has given a license to a different person without the approval of the ministry. Right?
What did the court say?
Coming. There are kingpins who are clearly telling the people that go and mine here.
We don't know them.
But what are you saying?
We can't find them.
What did the court say about what we are saying about Chemaun to me?
What did the court say?
His issue was that that is what he did. This is what you narrated. That he has a land he gave to somebody to go and reclaim and own the Kubi without anything, resources to get the reclamation done and what have you. The court says that is not what it is. Simplicity. So he remains a kingpin that has been successfully incarcerated.
Doc, who is doing the Galamsey?
Galamsey.
Who is doing it? Because it is happening.
Yeah, you and I. You and I.
It cannot be that we don't know who is involved.
And we know.
Because me.
That's what I'm saying, you and I.
If I go there today, I don't even have what it takes to do it.
Yes.
So who is doing it?
You and I. Are we not the citizens? We are the same people doing it. And those who have the money to buy excavators and what have you. You understand? But we cannot also gloss over the fact that this regime has shown some commitment. Maybe not all. or the way we want to see it reflect on the field. But there's been several interventions by this government to ensure that this canker of galamsey is nibbled the bad. And the sector minister has had occasion to take us through, meet the press, and tell us what some of these things, some of these measures have been. You know, now if you bring excavator into this country, in fact, before you even bring it, you have to give reason why you are bringing that excavator. Before you even put it on in any shape or whatever, to bring it here.
This reason, if you ask me, why are you being an excavator? I've come to help government build road. You are cleared. After being cleared,
no, you need to provide documentation.
You see, that means you are not following. No, my brother. Take your time.
Just say
when the excavator comes,
you need to provide documentation. That's what I understand.
Because the ministry is aware of people like you who think this way, they have also put in measures where when the excavator eventually lands, yes, you say you are coming to use it for roads, to whatever. When the excavator eventually lands in this country, they are tracked. And they have the geofencing. So, first of all, the excavator is tracked. So, wherever the excavator is going, the ministry and the national security and all those people in charge of some of these things, they are aware.
Now the
geofencing is that
the machines we are seeing there today, last 2 weeks,
I am not talking about that. I am not talking about that.
This same importation.
I am not talking about the inefficiencies of those who are supposed to act. Of course, there are human beings watching the excavator on the screen, and they know that this excavator is not supposed to be in this forest. Because in bringing this excavator, the person said he was coming to construct roads with it. How is it that it's ending up in Ochiberiate forest? So that person who is sitting in Accra and monitoring on the screen may be compromised. He's a human being. That's what I'm saying, that the measures have been put or have been made active. It is left with you, the human beings, helping the sector and the government to ensure that these things are enforced.
But we're not saying this under the previous administration. We're blaming them for not doing enough.
That's what I'm
so the
doing.
buck will stop with the leader.
Yes.
So if every day I hear of all of these interventions by Mr. Boa, our brother, Mahmoud, our brothers, what's the name Shandov and Co.
Yes.
I get it. They are doing a great job. We are doing this. We are doing this.
Yes.
But ultimately, it's about results.
Exactly.
There's one thing telling me, oh, I've gone to kick them out of the forest. But they're following the IC and excavator there. Then they're kicking. How did they happen?
The formulation of these measures have not been completed. Because one, you talk about no one should import excavators. Even when you bring them, show documentation.
Yes.
Fantastic measure. Now, it moves to the second stage where
it is tracked.
It crosses its boundary.
In fact, it is registered in the port before it comes.
Fantastic
and
measure.
It is tracked.
So good. So they are being tracked. Now, it moves from its boundary into the forest to go and mine.
How?
But you are saying that
that's the how we are all trying to unravel. Yes.
So how? That's a good question. Who then supervises the tracking of these excavators?
Human being.
Why are they still tracking the excavators while they know very well that it has moved from its boundary into the bush?
Exactly.
So whoever is sitting aloof to ensure that these excavators are being taken off or taken out of the bush, this person should be sacked immediately.
Exactly, and I agree with you. That's
what I'm saying. The formulation of these measures have not been completed. Because if there's a clear measure that this is the way to go, and in the middle and the latter part of the discussion, it goes contrary to its formulation process, then it's a problem.
I agree. That is why I premised my submission by saying that there has been some measures by this government, but as to whether those measures are yielding the desired results we are seeking as a nation, it's a different matter. That matter, we can have it. That discussion, we can have it.
If you're doing anything anywhere and looking at what we know government has done, I think you should be expecting some results.
Yes, but at least we know that it's been reported, and we can all agree that the forest reserve that was hitherto red now has been green. At least the government has been able to reclaim all existing 9 forest reserves as we speak. You understand? Maybe the peripherals and Titehono is what we are not very concerned about. What is happening to the water bodies? Is it now turning to the natural blue water, or is still cocoa drink? If it is still cocoa drink, that means that somebody is hiding somewhere. And how is it that we are not able to get that person, especially when we have brought in a system where these excavators are tracked, or they are geofencing? You know, the geofencing was what I loved so much about it, in the sense that even if you bring the excavator, you want to do mining. Of course, the government is not saying don't do your mining, but do responsible mining. Don't do it closer to water bodies, forests, reserves, and what have you. And so, even if you are doing this mining in an area which is not demarcated for mining, the geofencing policy is that immediately your excavator moves away from that enclave that has been allocated to you, it is detected, it is seen. So who is that person sitting in that room and watching and, I mean, not paying attention to detail or his work?
So that person has to be fished out and possibly fired.
Exactly so.
But I've not heard of anyone.
And I agree with anybody who makes that argument. That how is it that government has, I mean, brought out lovely policies, I mean, interventions, directions as to how we can nip this, what do you call it, Galamsey menace in the bud. I love some of the policies, and I think that if we are committed to it, Kwame, this will give meaning to the death of some of these people who, for no reason, woke up one morning, called to duty by the state. Yeah, call dance, so call dance, whatever, to go and, in fact, launch outscore depths or whatever. To give livelihood to those people who are engaging in some of these things. And then in a twinkle of an eye, we lose them 8. And we are still here talking about Galamsey. We should be serious.
But, well,
we should be serious.
It is what it is. Liz, anything else before we wrap up? There's a story here on the front page.
This one I wanted us to, you know, the headmaster. The Zachariah you mentioned, he is the headmaster.
Oh, the Obasi Senior High.
And so
okay.
The Zachariah you mentioned,
oh, they put
he's the headmaster who was beaten to pulp. Charlie, Anoding.
Yes, so the Ghana Education Service has released a statement to that effect.
Yes,
so,
I think they shut down the school.
Yeah, that was done by the MC yesterday.
Okay.
And the
director.
The director of
yes.
education.
There's a video yesterday I shared on the platform of the director addressing the student. How do we say yes?
Yeah, so they said they went to the place where the students allegedly claimed that
with the police
buried, but they found that there's nothing there.
So you see,
what could the students have seen?
That's the thing. Yesterday, I joined Lizzie and his people on TikTok. There was somebody who was doing TikTok on the man. There's a gentleman. And he was asking people who know the man personally.
The Zachariah man.
Because the man used to be a headmaster at the said Drabbing. And most of the students, his students, who called or who were on that TikTok conversation, said the man, is a human, they cannot, but change. As far as their experience with him, since 2018, that they got to that school in Drabbing, to date, the man is somebody who is a disciplinarian. You don't mess around when he's around. In fact, most of the students at Drabbing thought that he was too hard. He doesn't no. So he was always on the student, making sure that they fall in line and they do. And so people were surprised that they were linking him to baby killings and stuff like that. In fact, jokingly, what the host of the conversation even said, asked 2 or 3 of the ladies that why did he try to make advances? No. In fact, they were asking themselves, some of them, they were saying that they were even asking themselves, why this man, why? Because say yeni ayaba, what I say, but said didn't see them. Because you know, one of the claims from the students who went beating this man was that he's doing something with some of the female students.
It has nothing to do with the supposed baby that was buried.
And that is it, that he had impregnated one student or something, and the baby that came out of it is what he was going to.
New issues.
Others are saying that he's actually an cortical or something like that, and that when they saw him, he was actually burying something that
but they didn't see the thing.
They are alleged to be babies, infants or so, and that is why they had to beat him. I'm told the man was taken to Obuasi, and then it was quite serious, so they flew him to Konfanochi now.
Yeah.
And almost say school Honiama.
Three bungalows, two cars, and all that.
Serious.
Even if you think that the teacher had done something, bad, I don't think the alternative is to beat him.
You know what I think about all of this? You say you saw him burying. Let's say they're about 6 or 7 or 8. You can easily overpower the man. Then you would raise an alarm. The students will come.
There's an evidence.
Everybody will see. If it's a baby, everybody will see.
Yeah.
The beating will probably have killed the evidence.
Yeah.
Because if it was a human being, if it was a baby, if the baby was alive, the baby would cry. If the baby was dead, we would have seen the body.
Yeah.
So once you raise the alarm, 2 or 3 of you find a way to hold the teacher, just shout, and students, when we hear anything, we all just rush to the place. Everybody will see the evidence, and the headmaster, if it was a case, would not have been able to run or do anything about it because the evidence would be laid bare. But probably after
I'm told six of the students have been arrested.
Yeah.
I'm also told that the school has been closed down.
Yeah.
And before closing down the school, the regional director was the district director of that area, the Obuasi Enclave, had to address the students. And Kwame, you need to listen to the address. He said, he was speaking in the local dialect. You need to listen to that. It's on our system.
Why? The school, they don't speak English there.
Oh, they speak English. I'm sure the director wanted to speak sense into their heads. So he descended, he came down to their level.
That's right.
And you could see anger, disappointment in the man's, and the man, he's also very TikTok. I was just saying in my head that Akwa will not student now. Because he actually visibly said it that we have treated you people with kid gloves. And this time, I am telling you, the obia send be able to yaka. You people, you best say, Mutiasi say charge, Mutiasi.
I think the question goes back to should we bring back proper punishment in these schools?
This matter
has gone back and forth.
Proper punishment and no bad.
No, but I see the.
Kolani be and kola boni.
No, but the threats.
Those in Kolani are quite you see soon. They no more than hard. You say.
But the threats, the narrative you are given from the whatever. Leave us, you know, you fear.
But they don't care.
No. I agree that the generations now
Sergeant this way. Lizzie and her people.
But we should also have teachers and mistresses who are
hard.
No, now if you go and tell somebody's child.
No, see, because me in secondary school, my house master Pasakwa. I mean, the boys were doing parlon. We used to go to a girls' meeting. We intentionally leave our sardine with the girls so that we want to go and do parlon. Then when we are going to
parlon?
So we intentionally give some of our provisions to the ladies to keep it.
Okay.
So that the evening we'll go there.
I see.
So you catch us. We're going to take sardine. Then Pastor Paz said, I know. He has banned that thing. So we have to find a way of it. We're going there. Now, everybody fears that man. One day, he had an emergency to come home. He left his bicycle in the middle of the school. Nobody crossed that bicycle.
That's right.
Because we were thinking that the man is still there. Nobody crossed that bicycle.
But this time we
did
don't have
not.
this kind of
Kwame, it was
hardened
on Monday
lecturers
Pastor
on
was
campus.
coming from the junction. Then he said that I've been away for a week.
This.
This one today do ask you, but sir, what have I done wrong?
Yes, no, challenge you.
I mean, which part of the school rule states that if I do this?
I want to overcome Rakra.
Challenge.
Hey, you come to Infantry, man. Those listening to me and attended Infantry to date. Hope man. Ask any Infantry student who Hope man was. Liar man. These are when you hear them, my brother.
They'll deal with you.
Yeah.
At this
Now,
time,
they mention the teacher's name and the students are like,
They don't even know the teacher.
no. You hear Pastor Kwan's name and
You are still there.
you
It's
hear
serious.
Kwan's name,
Kwame,
Read some
and
messages and let's wrap up.
I
Why?
like the way the district, the regional director for education spoke to the state. He addressed them. When he finished, he said, "When you go home, one can tell my parents say, Juma Amadini, and you people will pay. We are surcharging all of you. You will pay, and we will come after those of you,
I hope they pay.
so that next
Oh,
time
do you?
when you see your friends misbehaving, you can call them out or report immediately to the authorities."
They usually get them when they are supposed to come for their certificate when you're done with school. If you don't pay,
Oh, you pay. That one there, you pay. If they search, you pay. I know
Take some
the-
messages and let's wrap up. Why? This one says, Kwame, take it easy. Okay, we are taking it easy. That's what the students did. Mama, try be careful. This one says, hello, Kwame. Good morning to you and your team. Please tell your colleague that it is true the ban on importation of excavators is still in force. If you want to import excavators, you need a permit from the ministry.
Yes.
These days, we don't see much of the excavators being discharged at the ports compared to the previous years.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't add your name. I would have appreciated your name. This one says, I was going home and in my... Okay. I would look at this message. It looks like you are giving us some information on something. Okay, so I'll look at this. And you don't add your name, but I can understand. This looks like a very sensitive information.
Okay.
So I'll look at it. I can't put this out now. So I'll look at it. Thank you very much, though. This one says, okay, you have sent me a video and you say MPP, Jandam exposed. Okay, I see. Masawuri in Kumasi Bansma, you say the 22 Ghanaians should come out in their numbers and demonstrate against the incompetent NDC government. The so-called resetting agenda has landed this country where we are today. Okay, thank you very much for your message. You can keep your messages coming on WhatsApp number 0500,202 0500,202. Uncle Eko in Tema says, is Kofi Bensol of Imani above or immune to any lawsuits for him to show evidence of his claim that Gold Board has incurred a loss? The machinations and conspiracies to run down the image of the Gold Board is too much. They must stop or be stopped. Okay. This one says, hi Kwame, good morning and I hope you're doing well with the entire crew. Kwame, I was born in Tema and raised there. Today almost 90% of the drinking spots at Tema are okay, you have to give me evidence, I beg you. You see almost 90% of the drinking spots at Tema are selling wee bitters. And you mentioned a place around Tema community too. Okay, I won't mention the place for obvious reasons because we would have to check. You say now if you come to Tema, we have wee ice kinky, wee sobolo, wee fruit juice, wee biscuits, and wee toffee. Aeka.
We asking you.
Aeka. Nice kinky nankasa. It is it is already taking you there. Now Saturday we have and you sleep for 10 days. Anyway, this is where we draw the kettles on a new super edition of the show. Thank you so much, team, and thank you so much for your messages as well. If today happens to be your birthday, we'll celebrate you quickly before we come your way with a piece of my mind. So keep your messages coming if you want to celebrate yourself or if you want to celebrate that very special person close to you. 0500,202 0500,202 is the WhatsApp number. happy birthday to him. And if you also happen to be celebrating your birthday, you can let us know on WhatsApp number 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. If you get it coming in, even if we before we check out at 10, we would celebrate you, or we would celebrate that very, very, very special person on the stereo. Remember, you're still live. You're on Class 91.3 FM. This is Class 91.3, and this is A Piece of My Mind, which is a segment of the show where I share my thoughts on a subject or more, and also give you an opportunity for you to do the same. You can reach us via multiple ways on WhatsApp number 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. This morning, I'm going to focus on two quick issues and also give you an opportunity for you to call in and share your thoughts as well. A year ago, sadly, we experienced a very, very horrible tragedy. We've been having conversations about Galamsey for years, before August 5th last year. These were gentlemen who, in their own small way, were contributing to dealing with the Galamsey menace in Ghana and launching the community mining initiative to provide opportunities for young people who had gone into that area and who wanted to do it responsibly. Sadly, on that day, 6th of August last year, we lost then Minister of Defense, Dr. Kwame Dwomoh-agyemang. We lost Alhaji Muniru Limuna. We lost Alhaji Dr. Murtala Mohammed. We lost Dr. Samuel Sapong. We lost the three flying officers. And 1 year down the line, we're celebrating their legacy. But I'm sure the worry for many is not just about celebrating these people and their contributions to that space, but the fact that 1 year down the line, despite all the efforts that government appears to have put in dealing with all of these threats concerning Galamsey or illegal mining, it still appears to be relatively high depending on where you do find yourself in this country. It is impossible to visit everywhere, but people live within every corner of this country. And Galamsey is not something, or illegal mining is not something that you can hide. It will definitely be seen. I keep on asking myself very simple questions when I hear of all of these illegal mining activities going on in one part of the country or the other. In those vicinities, there are human beings that live there, first of all. In those vicinities, there is a district police commander, or there is somebody who is handling matters of security. There's a national security person there in practically every district who is reporting something to his authority somewhere. There's an MC, there's an assemblyman, there's a member of parliament, crowning all of that up with a regional minister. Sometimes you wonder whether along that chain, people are just incorrigible, or people just do not care, and they are not worried about the consequences of all of these illegal mining activities all over the country. And it does appear that, sadly, it is a case of greed which most often takes over these conversations. Because despite all that has been discussed by the medical professional about the chemicals that are being used as far as the Galamsey is concerned, and the fact that drinking of all of these contaminated water is what is causing all of these alarming diseases that we get to discuss today, and the fact that children are being born with all kinds of defects in some of these mining communities, it does appear that some people do not give a damn, and they would still go ahead and be involved. But if people are trying to navigate their way around whatever plans that have been put in place by central governments, there is a reason why we have law enforcement agencies. Can the law enforcement agencies, for example, in this place that our brother Erastus Asaridonko put on his Facebook wall on Monday, and we credit him for a lot of things because he's been one of our colleagues who has been working tirelessly on bringing this Galamsey conversation to the fore. How is it that you go to a place like he tells us in Apeja? And I'm very familiar with that area because some of my in-laws are from that space. Right behind the Apostolic Church. And it's not something which is very small. It is a large expanse of land. There are human beings in that community. There's an assemblyman in that community. There's a member of parliament responsible for that area. There's an MC or a DCE responsible for that area. There's a regional or there's a district police commander responsible for that area. There's a regional minister who is in charge of RECSEC. Are they telling us that all of these things have not been brought to their attention? If you get to Osino today, right now, it is an eyesore. Osino all the way to Abompe and beyond. It is an eyesore. It is happening live, morning, afternoon, evening, nights. I have been there. I have seen it for myself. I have videos. I have said on this platform. I've spoken about it. I'm tired. If you go to areas all the way from Kedi, and my brother Eben, who calls and sends us messages almost every day, talks about this area around Kwabing, where I'm sure he still does the farming over there. It is happening there live. Are we saying we don't see them? Or we don't care about the legacy of all of these people who sacrifice their lives for this fight and ensure that we do mining and do it responsibly? Go to the areas around Western North. Go to parts of Western Region. Go to the areas around Dunkwa and beyond. It is happening live and colored. Are we saying we don't see them, or we just do not care? And every now and then, it is just getting crazy and crazy and crazy. We see the videos every day. We hear the stories being told. We hear the disasters. We hear people dying in some of these wells that have been dug, or some of these pits that have been dug, practically every single day. But strangely, we still see the excavators there. Strangely, we still see the Shamfan machines there. So like Dr. asked this morning, is it that people who are directly responsible for these spaces, because the minister cannot be everywhere, NIMOS cannot be everywhere, the regional minister cannot be everywhere, but is it that people who are directly responsible for specific enclaves are just allowing people to do whatever they want to do with impunity, or they are just happy collecting brown envelopes? Because they are happening live. They are happening. And we are pretending as if everything is fine. Maybe, just maybe, His Excellency should be clamping hard on people who are in administrative positions on behalf of government in some of these spaces. So if you're an MC or a DC, and the alarming proportions of these things, I don't even want to say alarming proportions, but there is word and there's information and there's evidence to suggest that these things are going on in your enclave and you're not doing anything about it, or whatever measures you've put in place do not appear to be working, then you are yanked. Then we put in another person there, and then maybe it will get people to start working again. Because it's worrying. People have lost their lives. And yet, 1 year down the line, we're still having these conversations. It is most unfortunate. We should not be having them. But sadly, it is happening. The other thing that I want to talk about quickly before I do open the phone lines. I had the opportunity of discussing this here about 4 weeks ago. And I just want to put in a gentle reminder to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. I appreciate the fact that you are building a road all the way to my home region, and I'm excited about it. The 6-laner that we want to do all the way from Accra to Kumasi. But it's not just because it's my home region, but it's also about the fact that it's linking the two biggest cities here in Ghana. The number of people who move on that stretch, that Accra to Kumasi stretch, every single day to do anything, from business to traveling to see family on weekends for funerals and all of that, is crazy. But this is the thing, Mr. President. We have an existing road. Emphasis on an existing road. I am not saying, and I would never say, that improving that by building a new one is not proper. I would never say that. Because elsewhere, in serious environments, emphasis on serious environments, it is impossible that for a road linking the two biggest cities, we have only one, essentially only one. The one that goes all the way from here through in Sawam and all of those communities before you get to Kumasi. Elsewhere, there will be so many routes, so many options that will take you to Kumasi. Here, sadly, we have one that we built many years ago. We have tried over the years to improve it under one presidency or the other. But it's still a shame that on huge portions of this road, it is still I face you, face me. The number of people who are dying on this road, Mr. President, leaves a lot to be desired. Are we saying that we can't find money? Are we saying that we can improve the conditions of the existing road whilst we also focus on the new road that is being worked on? The last few days, I saw an accident involving an STC car and a tanker. The number of people who perished was sad. To see the flames that were coming out of the SCC car broke me. But sadly, this is something that we experience practically every day if you use that stretch. Me, I go home very often. But these days, it's become a complete battle. Because it looks like every time you tell somebody that you are going to Kumasi, before you end up, the conversation has turned into a prayer. The conversation would some way, somehow turn into a prayer because the person is worried about you going and whether there's a chance that you're going to go and come back safely. Why should that be the case? Elsewhere, when people are traveling, all they do is save journey because they know that you're going to go and come back. Unless, of course, something very dramatic happens. Here, it's not a given that you can ply the Accra-Kumasi road and come back safely. The number of people we are losing on that road is really worrying. Mr. President, I really appreciate the fact that we're doing something in that regard by looking at constructing another one. But until that one is done, and it is not likely to be done in another 24 months, the new one that we are doing is likely to be done in another 36 months. I don't even know whether we've secured all the funding to be able to start construction and finish within that same time frame that we are being told. But until that one is done, we are still going to be using this one. Why does it appear to me, and I'm sure to so many out there, that there is not much being done on very large portions of this road, especially from Insawam all the way? It doesn't appear to me that there's much being done at all. The other time I had to navigate my way through the Etiwa area there, just going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out before I ended up at Linda Door. Why? Too many people are dying on that road. And we need to do something about it urgently. One life is more than worrying. To see 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, almost every week or almost every other week must be very frustrating for all of us. Look at the number of people who use that road every single day. I mean, just imagine if you're on that stretch, whether for business or for any other thing. And this is a road that is linking two of the biggest cities. And sadly, it looks like the three major roads in Ghana are all in bad shape. Sadly. Accra to Kumasi, Yawa. Accra to Ho, Yawa. Accra to Tadi, Basa. And these are three major roads. Three major roads. Yes, there's some work ongoing there on the Winneba stretch. But that road all the way to Takrady, a very large portion of that road is still I face you, you face me. After how many years of independence? All the way to Ho and all the way to Keta, it is still pretty much I face you, you face me. And there are a lot of head-on collisions. Why? Mr. President, please pay attention to this. Please. The phone lines are activated. You can call me. Try to make it snappy when you call so that others can also get the opportunity. 0500,000 202 is our WhatsApp number. And then 0302 208080 0302 208080 is our call number. You can call me and share your thoughts. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Seth, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Kwame, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. One thing I want to say concerning about what happened a year now is about, I know Ibrahim, one military man who died during the MPP regime, and the Galamsey still continue, and then we now lost about 8. I don't know what we are going to lose before the eye will read for us. If you look critically, you can realize that we have some districts. That is why the Galamsey is going extensive. And we have a rep who represent the president in those districts. You see, Ghana, we are looking like, don't know what I will use and it will be insult. Some people have audacity to tell that this is my land. Anything I do, nobody have anything to do it. But it affects we all the citizens of that distinct there. And governments also normally consider some individual their interests And those are the things are killing us. Now, if the president wants to instruct, he can say that, oh, we have about 50 districts where the Galamsey is going. So if any report from there, you district chief executive, we will remove you concerning about all that is thing. It will help. Thank you for the other one.
Thank you too. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bra Kwame.
It's good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ima, calling from Amomole.
Ima, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Bra Kwame, people should not get me wrong. I'm not saying free education is not good. It's a good policy. We only had challenges with its implementation. Let's look at its inception since 2017, 2018, thereabout. My brother, where from this unwholesome student behavior, beating teachers and headmasters and mistresses up, vandalizing state properties? Where from this? See, if Ministry of Education, GES, didn't set up, implement drastic and punishable, offenses to curb this, kind of behavior these students are putting up, my brother, things will get worse. Because look at how they've subjected this headmaster to beatings. As you people were saying in the studio, if you suspect the headmaster burying a live baby or a child, just go and then find out from yourself because you outnumber him. Then you raise an alarm. Let's look at the kind of vandalism since 2017. Because sometimes they consider them because they are students. They are students. They are not just students. I'm pleading with this government because the atrocities are too much.
Okay, Emmanuel, I appreciate you calling 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
My one and only gentleman host.
Papa, good morning.
Welcome, my brother. Welcome,
Thank you.
Welcome back, Charlie. We miss you. You and your alacrity, Charlie. I salute you. See, have you noticed that they say in every home means a home? So how do they say it? How do they say it? Is it in every house there's a mensa? Is that not it?
Yes.
And the mensa shouldn't be angry with me. I'm just trying to point out something. They said that in every home we have bad nuts. I think MPP, seriously speaking, is there a party that one should join? On a day like this, where we are remembering the loss of 8 gallant people, you say you are organizing demo. A nation request party like your type. You are organizing demo this morning. Hey, MPP. You are either angry, what do you call it, Ghanaians. You are angry now.
Okay, Papa, your thoughts have been shared. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, Kwame, it puts security down to take care of our living and punish wrongdoers. So me, I see, soldiers are there to take over the land. That's why they wear green. The Air Forces are there to take air. The Navies are there to take care of our sea, the country, Ghana. Kwame, ask yourself, the work you have to do for the country. Now, the pastors are putting them numbers on air. They make you call them, they do men, so that they pray for it, so that they give them power, so that they do that. Is that the right thing to do? Well, we have security to know wrongdoers and the good doers in the country. Those who can damage our lives, they are to punish them. And now the pastor who get on air, let's go to make it. And I mean, so sickness that is if you don't cure fantastic that we are now.
Dave, thank you very much. 0302208080. Hello, good morning. Oh, I lost a caller, but you can also try 0302208080. 0302208080. Give me a call and share your thoughts with me. Let me pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, I was trying to pick a WhatsApp call, but it looks like this gentleman can't hear me. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Please, there's some issue bothering me. Yesterday, I called and your presenter, whoever asked me to hold on, they will give me a certain number. I'm looking for your rep at Volta region. There's this stone mining at my area. Agotime, but when you are going through Agotime Natural, our MP is on Agbevechas, and then our MC is Kulu Alfred. So what happened is that they will come there, mine the stone, destroy the road, and then they will go away. And this is not the first time. And as we are speaking, they are still at site as we are speaking now, and nothing has been done about the road. And the people there are complaining bitterly.
Okay, so I want you to please hold on. My producer would speak to you right now so that we can escalate the conversation. So please hold on. My producer would speak to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. So that we can get a bit more details about this particular issue. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bra Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Osman.
Osman, go ahead.
Bra Kwame, please, I want to know what is in this Grand Prix that all the political parties are finding it very difficult to fight.
Money.
But since something is fishy there, all the politicians, they are afraid to fight it. And I thought what happened last year could have triggered this government to also be serious about the Grand Prix. No, knowing that he's going to bring the fight. What's happening? Oh, no.
SMO 0302208080. Take a few more calls and I'll wrap up the segment of the show before we get into conversations concerning where you would lay your head. 0302208080. 0302208080. Give me a call and share those very strong thoughts with me. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Mula Umar. Secondly, welcome back.
Thank you. Mula, go ahead.
I'm okay. Kwame, as you guys were explaining, on the street of Stema, you can see earth-moving machinery excavators and on low bed heading towards Interland. I don't know what is wrong with us. Are we serious people at all? Kwame, if a gurus like a minister, state minister in charge of affairs could lose their life, what about you and I? Kwame, for education, the so-called free education has really caused more harm than good. Look at what is going on in this country. We need to reset everything. Enjoy your day, brother.
Enjoy your day too. Thank you very much, Mula Omar, for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kwame.
Good morning. Yao, go ahead.
Kwame, you see, to fight this Galamsey menace, it's not easy. Kwame, yesterday, I listened to some of the news items on one of your sister stations, and you see the chief or the chief over there went to police station. He talked to the police commander of the area. I think in the Bono region. He talked to the police commander. He talked to the MCE. He talked to all the people that he has to speak with. But still, they went ahead to do the Galamsey, and the water that they were trying to protected was got best. Kwame, and you know what? The problem is when you try to fight these people, they say the order from above. So who are the orders from that above that are issuing instruction for people to go and do Galamsey? Kwame, it's serious. Oh, this is serious. If you want to fight this Galamsey, then the problem is posterity should judge each and every one. Whoever is trying to do this Galamsey and trying to destroy our water bodies and our lands and everything in this country, posterity should judge each and every one. Kwame, God bless you.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling 0302208080 0302208080. We'll take just about a call or two more, and then we'll wrap up this segment of the show. 0302208080. Pastor, do I have another caller? Okay, so you can reach us with your messages on 0500,000 202 as well. 0500,000 202. Let me take a few of your messages that have come in before we get into our get in the place to lay ahead conversations. Davi Sena sent me a message this morning and says, Kwame, much as I agree with you on the bad nature of our routes linking Kumasi and the other cities, I feel you're putting too much pressure on government on this matter. The current government is tackling the problems with major construction works ongoing on many of the roads. The accidents, many of which are due to human factors, can be avoided if drivers and other road users would also be responsible and adhere to road regulations, and also take the necessary rest stops when they are tired. The NPP government didn't do anything on these roads in 8 years, even though funding was sought for them, but was misapplied by our officials. Well, I agree with you, Davi. It's not just about the roads. The drivers are also a big part of these problems. Thank you. I appreciate your message. Good morning, Class FM. This is what GPRTU should be more concerned about rather than regular fare increases. GPRTU should also lead to regular training and education for drivers to reduce or prevent these road accidents that take lives every minute. The majority of these accidents are as a result of bad behavior of the drivers. Sharif in Bechele, you send this one. I appreciate you, Sharif. Uncle Eko in Tema says, I attended a funeral in one of the Achim areas in the eastern region and I was dumbfounded. Galamsey was so visible, like the culture and sociology of all the communities there. The communities on that stretch looked like a Galamsey free zone. Yet there were chiefs, MPs, DCs, and even national security institutions there who all get paid by the states. If people lose their jobs for sleeping on their jobs, situations will change. Thank you. Okay, Dilaf. We have your contacts. We would call you. Okay, so let me take a final caller and then let's wrap up the segment. Hello, good morning.
Kwame, I never finished my destiny, no, then you cut me off.
Oh, I apologize. The line went dead for a few seconds, so I thought you were done.
No, I haven't finished.
Okay, so please make it snappy for me.
Yes, let me be very snappy. You see the road accident that you're talking of? On Monday, I was on a business trip to Takoradi. To be frank with you, I was shocked about the development going on that stretch after Kaswa. Look, the one way, what do you call it, that you are talking of, the government is seriously working on it to make it that well something. Whereby you face me, I face you, it's out of it. From after Kaswa to what do you call it, Takradi. Well, the government is working so hard, I must be frank with you. I agree with you that some parts are, what do you call it, but to be frank with you, yes, I said I was shocked on Monday. I got back home around 2 a.m. from Takra. I made a return journey, 2 a.m. So to be frank with you, the government is working out in every sector of this economy. But you keep it up and do your good job, my brother. Have a nice day.
All right, so Papa would be the final message, the final caller this morning. I appreciate all your calls, but let me just wrap up with a few messages before we start our conversations on getting a place to lay our head. Vasco in Adensa, you say, bro, good morning, please. I feel that our leaders are just lip service in solving this Galamsey menace. We've lost a lot of souls in this fight, but less action from governments. Please wish my good friend, Madame Mary Wegba. You see, he's a deputy director at the Ministry of Health. Okay, I guess she's celebrating her birthday. So happy birthday to you, madam. Kwame, good morning. I'm Bismarck from Adenta New Legon. My brother, it looks like this Galamsey fight is not in the interest of any of our leaders. Why? Because the places you mentioned in the piece of my mind are still ongoing, and our leaders, chiefs, DCs, MCs, and assembly members are all there, and they are watching. So I don't know if we're ever going to be able to deal with this. Okay. The one says, hi bro, good morning to you and your guys in the studio. There are lots of earth moving machinery in and out of our ports, and they go through Tema every single day. Who are we deceiving? We are just deceiving ourselves. Mulaoma, you sent those one. Okay, Francis, you sent a very lengthy one on the happenings in the senior high schools these days. We'll get into that conversations probably tomorrow as we wrap those up. Let me just go for this quick at this point. here in Accra. And we're looking at two things. We're trying to kill two birds with one stone. We're looking at the state of the real estate industry here in Ghana, because every now and then we get so many people calling us, trying to get a place, trying to get a mortgage, trying to buy a house, trying to do this, trying to get me. I don't have that kind of money to buy. I want to buy a house in cantonments, but maybe Bello will give me a loan to be able to buy a house in cantonments or, one of these places. But when I go, the prices they are quoting. And then some will say, okay, they have a payment plan. The payment plan says you can't sit up. So we are looking at that, and then we'll look at, if you like, the low end of that conversation as well. The conversation surrounding why it appears to be costing so much every now and then just to get even a single room these days. I don't know what goes into calculating how much you have to pay for rent every month, every 6 months, every 3 months. Some have converted their properties into Airbnb and all of that. I mean, he's going to help us navigate. He's a very busy man, so we'll try to do this as quickly as possible. He's going to help us navigate our way through these, conversations as we look at the state of the real estate industry here in Ghana. We'll look at the challenges, and then we'll look at acquisitions as well. Bello, good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Charlie, brother.
Fresh, Scanaba.
Amen. I receive it.
But let's get into these conversations right away. Okay, so every now and then you get a message, you get a call, especially because of this our industry. People calling you and telling you their stories, how they would want to get, let's say, a facility. They want to own a property somewhere in town, but prices are either too high, too ridiculous. Some say, I want to go for a mortgage, but when I go to a bank or a financial institution, the arrangements are also crazy. You are in the industry. You play the role of commercial director. So I'm sure you engage all kinds of people when it comes to, especially the area of acquisitions. Yeah. What are the everyday conversations that you come across in your line of work?
Okay, before I start, good morning to all your listeners.
Sure, thank you.
Good morning to all Casa Properties and Prime Accra customers. Well, yes, what you said is right. I tend to face this a lot of times because people will call in, they will see you, constructing something premium or something very nice or even something affordable. They'll reach out to you trying to, find out if they could purchase. Sometimes you send them the price list and they look at it, they go like, boss, this is beyond my budget, But then, there are a lot of things that goes into play. So, for the real estate, usually I like to divide it into two: the affordable and then the luxury real estate. So for the affordable ones, yes, it is affordable as they claim, but still it's quite expensive because a lot of people are not still able to access it. There's demand, but then there isn't much supply. And a reason is that to put up a house or put up an apartment, it involves a lot. There's high construction cost, especially if you want to get good finishes. I mean, in most of your products, you need to import them, So it all
like what?
adds up.
The cement is here.
That's what I'm saying. So it depends.
They are all here.
Yeah, so it depends on what you want to add to the finishes.
Okay.
You get me? Because if you're building especially to rent, then you want a building that will last you more than 10, 15 years. That even within that period, still the finishes will still look modern.
Okay.
Meaning things like this, you would have to import them. Even the ones that you need to buy from here, from some of the people who have the merchandise for such products, it's still expensive because they still also import. So the whole ecosystem and our macro ecosystem,
we can't get them here.
And there are some that we can get, of course. For cement, you can get them here and all that. But then when it comes to the luxury real estate, there are a lot of things you can get them here. Even if you're going to get them here, you're going to get them from suppliers who are also importing them. You get me? And we all know when you import, it has to do with the dollar. And
but the dollar is okay now.
Yes, but then this is what's happening now. But then I'm talking in general, what has been happening, because someone might build, because for me, Primark, what I'm building now will be finished in 2 years' time. So by then, if the dollar rate continues to be like this, of course, then it can, there are a lot of people who could afford that.
Okay. But
then people who had already previously built years back, we already know how the economy was going and how the city basically was not stable. So nobody wants to build and rent out for and not make money. So definitely they will add all those things to the cost, which all adds up to that. And don't forget, even acquiring a land is not easy, especially if you want to get a land in, let's say, in a prime location. Even in the normal areas where we don't claim to be prime, you still can't easily get a land because it's quite expensive. There are also issues about land ownership and land titles and even land administration. All this thing goes into adds up to all this that makes building what's it called, a house or an apartment quite expensive. And of course, people want to make money from it, so they also would have to basically sell it at a rate where at least they can make good returns. Now, when it comes to the rental area, I'm glad this year or even last year the rent control institution, they've upped their game, and I see them moving into hostels, um, always sensitizing us, trying to let us know to let's say rent in the in the proper way, not go overboard, which I think is something that is good, and I think it would sanitize when it comes to the rental space, because when it comes to the rental space, there's no proper regulation. That's where the problem is, especially if you're dealing with an individual. For real estate companies like us, we are we also operate within the system, and for us there are a lot of regulations on us, and so we too can go beyond. And even for us, we build and sell. So you still have individuals who would come and, if he's bought his own apartment and he wants to lease it for a particular amount, that's up to him. But then I'm happy that the Red Control has, upped their game, and I'm sure these things will sanitize that to at least help to reduce the, let's say, the rent or what people pay for Airbnb, at least to a reasonable rate. Do you get me? So as it will not be like it's only the investors who are benefiting, and then the people who are actually using the facility are not actually benefiting from that. Yes. So in essence, these are the factors that actually makes it quite expensive to
Okay,
put up.
so let's look at the conversation this way. So, for example, I want to start a business here. I am looking at the earning powers, or I'm looking at the revenue streams of people, and I'm looking at average salary levels and all of that. So, if I'm going to put up a property here that is going to cost $100 million, and average wages are 2,000, I find it difficult to comprehend that. What I see, I may be wrong, but what I see generally is a case of properties springing up all over the city or all over Accra. And it does appear that they are way out of the pockets of the everyday Ghanaian. Is there no way you guys in that industry can, if you like, put up properties that would meet the pockets of as many people as possible?
Okay, so I'll tackle this in two ways. So for the affordable space, definitely.
In Ghana, no building is affordable. Yeah.
Well, so let's say relatively affordable space.
Now you are talking.
For that one, you need governmental support, and you need stakeholder support in that, because for developers, at the end of the day, if we get easy financing, because putting up such structures is not easy. It involves a lot of money. So let's say I want to put up affordable homes in a particular area, it's going to cost me a lot of money. But if I have government support, or have financial support or flexible financial support from the government to help me put up these things, of course, excuse me, of course it would help. It would help reduce the cost. That's one. Two, we are talking about mortgage, so we are talking about accessibility. Yes, you have the building. How many people can access the mortgage facility to actually, actually get the building? And it's not easy, because you have a lot of people who come to you and then they go back to the bank. The bank would access them and then realize that no, whatever they earn, they can actually pay. So then they are cut out from that. So this brings to the larger discussion with the whole financial system, especially housing financial system in Ghana, which I think there needs to be some sort of policy, or even the banks needs to really come together and look at that space, because a lot of people want to buy homes but they can't afford, which I think is an opportunity for them. So if they have to make their mortgage financing very flexible, so that a lot of let's say average Ghanaians can actually access it, I think that would be good.
Who, the bank or government, or who?
No, so for the mortgage, that should be the banks, because at least, because I know they also don't want to give out mortgage to people whereby the people can't pay back, because then they're also going to make losses.
Because you
So,
spoke about assessing the individual.
yes.
And so that's what brings me back to the question I posed earlier. I'm earning 2,000.
Yes.
The properties that I'm seeing spring up all over the place are in a certain range.
Yeah.
If they do the assessment 100 years, I won't qualify.
Yeah. So then that brings us to the luxury apartments or the luxury real estate. As you know, every product or every service or every what's it called, every goods that you bring out, you have your target market. So usually these luxury apartments, they are targeting most of the diaspora, because most of this diaspora or most of these people who buy these luxury apartments don't buy, about, I could say about 50 to 60, 70% who buy do not buy to live in. They buy to use it for Airbnb or long leases. And if you've noticed, most of these luxury apartments are in prime areas like airports, Laboni cantonments. These are the areas where you have a lot of expats living in there. You have a lot of high commissions living there. You have a lot of embassies living in there. So most of these people who buy these units, they buy that to target people in such areas and people who want to use it for short leases. Do you get me? Especially the airport ones. You know, there are a lot of people who travel. There are people who could travel into a country for just a day and move out. They don't want to move far away from the airport. So these are the places where they would want to go, where they can go, enjoy the apartment, enjoy their gym, enjoy the pools, relaxation, their spa, and steam and whatever, their steam rooms and all those things. So those luxury apartments in these areas, these are the ones they are targeting, and then high net worth individuals. So they have the target markets they are looking at. You get me? So they are not, unfortunately, they are not targeting the average.
So they are not thinking about us.
That is why, you know, in every industry you have segments. So that's why you have the ones that also do the, you know, the affordable housing. But even that accessibility is not easy, you know. So as a broader discussion, that is not only it's not only the job of the developers, but then there's the whole ecosystem. The economy needs to be right. The socio-economic whatever indices, all of them needs to be right. Policies needs to be right, regulations, all those things comes into play. And when all those things comes into play, I know we will not have a perfect system, but at least if it gets to a certain level, I'm sure a lot of people will be able to begin to assess such, you know, financial options, or even be able to have ways of, you know, acquiring such homes. And,
What is this that I hear? Now that I have you, I will really appreciate an answer. What is this that I hear that a lot of these properties, even in the high-end areas, a lot of them are literally empty because people can't just afford them?
Well, so for that, on the face value, that's how you would see it. But then, in natural terms, as I said, you know, a lot of people buy it and use it for long leases or for, you know, short lets. So basically for Airbnb. Uh, Hardly would you find someone renting your place for 2 3 months for Airbnb. Hardly does it happen. So you would have companies who would do maybe long leases with the 1 bedrooms and with the 2 bedrooms. Now, in real estate, especially the luxury real estate with the apartments, we have seasons. We have our peak seasons and we have off-peak seasons. So usually the seasons is around end of the year, and we all know in December we know what happens in Ghana.
Sure.
We have all these black Americans and a lot of diaspora trooping into the country. Then during Easter is also a peak season. Then somewhere around summer is also a peak season for most of these apartments. So during these periods, almost most of the units are basically occupied. So sometimes these things come about during off-peak seasons. And let's say I have a unit, so like Primark is a 68 units. So in there, if during off-peak season and you are the owner of, let's say, apartment 23, it behoves on you to try and do your own marketing or do your own, or get your agents or get people to put the word out that, hey, look, I'm running
the place is empty
exactly
for another 6 months.
Probably, you know,
Okay.
and then you can look at the price discount, because then it is off peak, so you can't give it at the same price. As this is just a marketing tip I'm just giving to people out there, so that at least you can still get people in there. But usually during what's it called, peak seasons, usually all those places are full. You don't even get it.
So does it mean that out of peak seasons, for example, if I own a sports and for whatever reason I'm not getting, I then decide to run, let's say, an Airbnb with it, and then try to look out for my clients and all of that. If I'm not getting to,
well, so most of these apartments have their own facility management companies in there. So
Okay.
like Primark also has it. So usually they strike deals with, so they can run it on your behalf, where they can let you know, okay, every month we can get you this amount of money. Whether we get people in or not, we get this amount of money. And usually, the way they run it, they don't make losses. So in that one, at least during off-peak season, you are guaranteed of some yields. And trust me, most of these people who buy these apartments, they know their game. They do all the numbers. They have their finance people who do all those numbers. So throughout the year, they run all those numbers, and then they know that, oh, at minimum, I know I'm going to get a percentage from whatever unit I have in there. And don't forget, that unit still belongs to them. One day they can decide to move in, or one day they can just even give it out to their kids. It's still an asset. So even if hardly do they even make losses, but even if let's say worst case scenario, you have someone who even makes losses, it's still an asset to you.
Okay.
You can sell it off, you can give it as an inheritance, or you can even use it as collateral for your business, or so it still has value. Yeah, so we shouldn't just look at the occupancy, just the occupancy level. A lot of people who buy this, they know what they are doing. Most of them know what they are doing.
Okay, so let's look at the buying side then.
Okay.
We spoke about wage levels and all of that.
Yeah.
If I walk up to your organization, for example, and let's say you have properties scattered all over the country, high end, middle level, high income, how do you assess me if I want a place? How would you generally assess me?
Okay, so generally, we have something called the Know Your Customer KYC that we run on customers. Basically, of course, we try to see because even under the Real Estate Act, you need to do all those things because they don't want a situation where people will use, because of money laundering issues and all that. So they don't want just people who are exposed to some things for you to sell to them. So there are things we look out for. So we check your background. We have ways of checking your background.
Okay.
That's trade secrets.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a way of going around it because if we don't do that, we'll have issues with the real estate council or the regulatory body that looks after that. Yeah, so we check all those things basically to see if you don't have a checkered past. You get me? Your finance options, usually we are a bit flexible on that because then at the end of the day, we sell at off plan. So it is tied into the construction timeline where you pay monthly or you can do quarterly. That's what Primark.
Is that what they do in Dubai as well?
Oh yes, that's what they also do. They have a similar structure like that. So if it's off plan, and if it's off plan too, it's a bit cheaper because then let's say you're part of the what's it called, the beginning or the investment of the construction of the building. So it do not sell it to you at the same price as when it's completed, and that's what Primark does. So you see that it's a big discount when you come in as off plan, and then when we complete, of course, the prices will jump. So some of these people who are even coming, they are coming in to buy at off plan, and even after completion, then they sell it off. That's why I keep telling you these things. A lot of people have a way of making money from it. Yes.
So if I understand what you have said, let's say you're going to start building new houses.
Yeah.
I have my money.
Yeah.
Or let's say I earn a salary, I earn an income. It's going to cost, let's say, $200,000 by the time you are done. If I start with you, I can get it relatively cheaper. Rather than waiting for the building to be done. And then I walk up to your company and say, I want to buy that house. That one will be 500,000.
It could be. It could be.
How do I know that an organization is planning to start some construction in an area, so that instead of going or approaching that company and paying 500,000, I know that there's a company that is planning to start something, and if I go to them with 200,000, I can get it. How do I find that information?
Well, that depends on the business because it depends on how loud or how best you promote the brand. So for us, we started promotion way back, letting people know. We started advertising and marketing way back to let people know that this is what is coming up. And then there was the grand launch, which we made a lot of noise around it. So basically, the awareness was there.
That is for you, but others don't do that.
Exactly, but that's what they're supposed to do because at the end of the day, it would cost you a lot to put up that structure. So if you want to make your returns, then you have to put the word out and at least let people know this is what is happening. But in that particular area, you have a group of people who basically understand what's already happening in the market. So there are a lot of people who already start their searches, so they get to know what's happening and all that. Because as far as you've been online to try and look for a property, definitely the algorithm will target you some way somehow, start showing you other developments that are happening in Accra. Yes, so but for someone who has never done that before, then that might be quite difficult. But for me, there were billboards. I was just targeting digital. There was billboards as well. So if you're not somebody who actually goes online, at least when you're driving around town, you're still going to
see something.
You get me? So the pre-launch activity is very important to make the noise out there for people to know, and then during the launch itself, and even right after the launch. You get me? Yeah. So we can make the noise, but you can't get access to everybody. So that might be the challenge. So from what you're saying, I think all the real estate developers, the pre-launch, that I think that's where they should invest most of their energy in there, so that at least people will get to know, and then they can come in, and try and get it at good.
What are the disappointing levels like for majority of the everyday Ghanaian who approach you, and they tell you, if I look at rents and if I look at ownership, in the long term, I would rather want to own the house than to rent. But because of all of these paperwork and all the use the term, all the expectations they have to meet, or all of the pointers they have to satisfy, those people may not qualify. Is there any other way? Maybe I don't qualify now, but I can qualify in 1 year. Within that 1 year, is there anything you can do for me?
Well, it depends on case by case basis.
Okay.
Do you get me? Because now we are just speaking on general terms.
Sure.
Usually, what will not qualify will definitely be if you can't afford it. Because definitely, because if you see the payment structure for the next 2 years, you would have to know whether I can pay or not. Then then that's when you can reach out to your mortgage, our mortgage partners, or even if you have your own mortgage bank that you think can come on board, then they can come in and make it flexible. But the good thing about us, you don't start the mortgage payment within that 2 years. Yours is to pay the 20%. Let's assume I'm selling at 100,000 Ghana cedis. You have to do a 20% down payment, and that 20% down payment, we can even spread it for you for the next 2 years. And within that period, you are not paying the mortgage. Do you get it? So that 20%, let's say is 20,000 Ghana cedis. We spread it for you for the next 2 years. It's something you can easily pay without even knowing. You get me? Then right after the 2 years, then that's so let's say around the 20th or to 21st to 22nd month, then that is when the mortgage guys will come and assess if you actually paid your 20% deposit, and that's when they rope you in. And then right after we give you the keys, or we grant you residence, then that's when you start paying to your mortgage.
Okay.
Do you get me? So it's very flexible. So within that 2 years, you might have done all your plans, or you might have done all your investment, or your, done your financial this one to see that, okay, in the next 2 years, I can start paying for the next 17 years, 18 years, depending on your age. Because most of the banks, the cutoff is around 60 years. But sometimes some of them tend to do exceptions. Maybe they look at your other income inflows. And
if you do
something
get
they
a
feel
lot
like
of
it's still
galamsey.
going to and then they feel like it's something
You have
can
10
pay
jobs.
Yeah, but I think they have some exceptional cases, but I can speak for them for that. Yeah, so for the mortgage, I think the way we have structured it is quite easy for you.
Is it up to the individual to go to the bank, or they have to go through you? How does it work?
Okay, so yes, of course, because then we have to let the bank know that, you've reached out to us, and then you are interested in taking mortgage. So we introduce you to the bank. What other people to do is they go to the bank first to see if they are qualified. Do you get me? So so it's both ways, but usually when it goes through us, it's quite easy for you, because then at least we've done a little bit of homework on you.
Okay.
So then it's quite easy for the bank to also look at whatever it is and then try to grant you. But so let's say you are younger, and then within a year or two, depending on the work you're doing, within this period you might get a promotion, or
Yes.
you might move on. Exactly. So we give you that 2 years basically to breathe.
Okay.
You get me? And the moment we give
To
you the
see
keys,
whether your situation will change. Okay.
And the moment you have the keys, it is yours. So you could be paying off the mortgage, and you can still sell it off and still pay off the mortgage and still make money. You get me? So that 2 years that we've given you for Prime Accra, I think it should be easy for a lot of people to take this. Yeah.
What again? Help me appreciate this one. That I read somewhere that per I don't know whether it's the real estate rules or the governing rules of the country, a certain percentage of your income should be like a ceiling when it comes to acquiring a property. So if you're earning, let's say, 10,000 cedis a month, the company you're doing business with cannot be you cannot service the loan with more than like 40% or 45% or
Yes,
something like
yes.
that. Why? If I want to service it with 80% of my salary,
Well,
how is that your business?
That's for the mortgage and the banking financing.
Okay.
For us, we don't look at that.
Okay.
You get me? That's for because most of the people who do that are basically through the bank, and the bank cannot take more than 40%.
Why? Why?
Well, because at the end of the day, I think they're trying to the Bank of Ghana or whoever is in charge of that is trying to, what's it called, to protect your pocket in a way that they don't want you
I
to.
want the house where I'll pass and
That
go
one-
and
that-
get
that
cocoa
conversation is
money.
beyond me.
Where I'll pass and go and get cocoa money should not be your business.
That conversation is beyond me. It's beyond me. But the advantage in mortgage, of course, if you're a bit younger, you have more years to pay. So
Yeah.
But if you and I are age close to that,
If you're getting old. Anyway, we're having a conversation with the commercial director for Casa Properties, Belusida Haruna, and we're having a conversation about the real estate industry with respect to challenges and acquisitions. We hear this all the time. We had people calling, texting, telling us their stories, the challenges that they face in that area. And today we felt that it was right to get someone come in, answer all of those questions, and also help you if there's something in that particular area that you're looking at as well, and what you can do. If we can touch base quickly with rent, and then we'll look at the services that you guys also have to offer. Rents in this country is some way. I mean, that's the only word I can use. Whether it's at a lower level, whether it's a particular area you want to go and live, whether it is the hostel you want to go and rent in school. The other day we spoke to the president of the Greta.
Okay.
And he gave us 1,000,001 reasons why the prices are what they are. But I remember people even after the program calling and texting why it looks like some of these plants are static. They don't appear to move. So, for example, when you see the cost of cements, the cost of iron rods, the cost of labor, the cost of importation of final touchings and all of that. And I remember one particular caller even called and asked and said, so for example, 2 years ago, the dollar was hovering around, let's say, 17 cedis. Now it is around plus or minus 11. And then still, the prices are still skyrocketing. You were saying it was because of the dollar. Now the dollar appears to be stable and is doing well, and the prices are still skyrocketing. Is there no other way these things can be looked at, especially for you guys in that industry?
Okay. So when it comes to these rental issues, it's all about regulation and policy. This is what would solve this problem. Yes. For me, unfortunately for me, or fortunately for me, for Casa Proper, where we are not the only, let's say, what's it called, apartment in that particular area. You have a lot of people who are also, selling off plan. So for me, my price has to be competitive. I can't even go beyond board. And when you are in a particular area and you have a lot of competitors, whether you like it or not, the prices will come down. So for us, when it comes to pricing, due to competition and due to it being our first main project, we are selling at a price where I think a lot of people in that segment will not have issues with. Secondly, our spaces are much bigger. On the average, our spaces are bigger than most of the people who are into this real estate apartment. So if you look at what amount we're giving to you at off-plan price, and you look at the space and everybody having a balcony wrapped around the building, for us, we looked at this because we knew that we could have issues with pricing and stuff like that. That is why we added a lot of value to the building. So even if you're paying that amount, it is worth it. That's one for the luxury area. Now, for people who have completed the buildings, like luxury building, and they are actually renting it out, of course, they also must adhere to whatever the rent control, let me put it, what's called regulations, because it looks like a lot of people don't. In Ghana, you're not supposed to even pay.
Charging 10,000.
Even in Ghana, you're not supposed to even pay 2 years rent advance. But everybody's breaking that.
I don't know if it works.
Exactly. So it's all about regulation. And I like what the new guy is doing now because I see him very active. I think 2-3 days ago, I saw a video of a student who are taking him around, showing him where he was paying. I think 2005 for I think for a semester or for a month or so.
It's crazy.
And he was complaining. Someone even said, where the guy lives even actually looks like a prison because he had to go through like three the conditions were quite horrible. So I like the fact that he has started this. I hope it continues so that within probably a year or two, these things will be sanitized. So at least it could be controlled. Because a lot of the buildings that people build, like especially the individual ones, for them it's quite difficult to regulate because only they see it dying.
They don't belong to
I'm
any
selling exactly. I'm selling it at this
or anything.
I'm renting at this price.
If you can
exactly because if you
hell
leave,
with
someone would come for it. You get me? I live at Spintex and I see this thing all the time because if you don't rent, someone will come in, and you even have experts living in that particular area. For them, they come like young guys. You have about 3-4 people renting one place, and they are still there and able to do their hustle. But you, for a Ghanaian, you want to live there alone, so you can't compete with what 3 or 4 people pay for one apartment area, or let's say
is this
three
something
bedroom.
we should be encouraging here as well,
Not
where you
at
have
all.
2-3 people come together and get a place?
Not at all. If I own a facility like that, I don't think I'll do that because then the cost will be high. Because if I have 2-3 people living in the house, the cost of maintaining the plumbing stuff, electricity, general management of the house, usage of the building itself will be lower. But when I have 3-4, like hustlers living in that particular area, they would overuse the facility, and at the end of the day, I'm still going to pay more. So I don't know why some of these owners don't look at that. Do you get me? I know some of them strictly, give you okay, you can't have more than 2-3 people in there, but then still, some way somehow people flout it. So as I said, it's about regulation and enforcement. If all these regulations are enforced, I think within a year or two, these things should be sanitized. But it's not an easy job.
Okay, so maybe that is where you can come in and help me with your organization. So, for example, now we have about 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
If I walk up to your office at
Yeah.
Casa, I come and run my mouth, and I want you to help whoever walks into your office. What do you guys call it? Packages, proposals. What do you guys have to offer within the next I don't know how you guys do your business, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. What do you guys have coming up that a young man listening to us, a luxury apartments and everyday apartments, a rich man like my colleague over there, Doc, if he has $1 million sitting somewhere, he wants to, he's thinking of getting a property.
Then I have to sell 1 unit for him.
What do you guys have to offer?
Okay, so firstly, let me start from the project itself. So, Casa Properties is developing Prime Accra, which is 68 units, luxury apartments. It's just 1 minute drive from the airport, surrounded by high commissions. Embassies.
1 minute?
Yeah, just 1 minute drive from the airport.
And then it's at the airport.
This is 1 minute drive from the airport. It shares the same wall with the Poke House. It has about 4 or 5 embassies around. So you have the Moroccan embassy, you have the Zimbabwe embassy, you have Cuban embassy, then you have the Liberian embassy. You also have what's it called, the foreign affairs, so it's not far from there. So that even tells you it's a secured location. Now we have studios. Unfortunately, studios we are done. We've sold
What's
all.
a studio?
So studio is an
radio
apartment.
studio?
No.
Okay.
So a studio is an apartment that basically has you have your bedroom in there. So you walk in there, you have the kitchen, the living room, and the bedroom in the same room.
Okay.
Yes, but it's structured in a way that it does not have, the room is not separated from the floor. From the main floor. But for 1 bedroom, you have your separate bedroom, then you have your separate living room, then you have your kitchen. Then you have the 2 bedrooms, then we have the 3 bedrooms, then we have penthouses. Yeah, so for the penthouses, we have 3 floors for per each. So you have the ground floor for that. So that starts from the 10th floor, then we have the 11th floor, then the 12th floor. Now we have amenities too, like for us, safety is everything to us. So that's what a lot of people don't do. We have 2 fire exits, which a lot of people don't have, because we are very meticulous when it comes to those things, and we are very careful. We want to protect people, so we have 2 fire exits. We have a lot of parking space. We have 2 basements We have a parking space whereby almost everybody can get a parking space. We also have parking space for visitors. We do also have 2 swimming pools. We have the indoor and then the outdoor. So the indoor is basically a heated pool. Then we also have a spa and then a steam room. A lot of people don't have steam rooms. Steam rooms are very beneficial to people, and a lot of people don't know the benefits from it.
The steam,
yeah, the steam
is
room.
it like the sauna kind of thing?
Yeah, so that's where you go in with your towel and your head, so
Oh,
you
the
feel the
bourgeoisie
heat it takes
zone.
out. But it has a lot of health benefits. So we're not giving you a peaceful place to rest. We're also giving you health benefits too as well. Basically, we have all the world-class amenities in there. So we have a world-class gym. We also have a paddle court whereby you can come and then you can come with your friends to play and have fun. And most importantly, we also have a kids area. Because for Prime Accra, we are looking at, yes, we are looking at luxury, but also looking at privacy. We also want, because there are 2, 3 bedrooms and the penthouse is targeting families, so we need to get a place where kids can have fun and play. You have a lot of kids living in such areas, but they don't have playgrounds. Sometimes they have to drive all the way to far places to go and play. But we have all this kids playground in the building. Now, when it comes to our pricing, as I said, we have the biggest spaces in town. We have every apartment room has a balcony wrapped around, so there's proper ventilation for you. And our prices too are good and very flexible.
All of you say your prices
Oh,
are
our prices are good.
competitive.
We're looking at our spaces. We're looking at our spaces and looking at a new company that just came in, that launched in March. We sold about almost close to 60% of our units.
I see.
Yes, because we
Then
stand
they
out.
must be affordable.
It's you. for that
I'll come and see with my
segment it
coins.
is yes. So for flexible payments, we do have Mortgage Republic Bank is our partners, and then also we do also have payment plan for you where you can do 12 months, you can do 18 months, or you can do 22 to 24 months flexible payment plan. And we don't necessarily do monthly. We can have an arrangement with us where you can even do quarterly with us. We are that flexible. Yes, because at the end of the day, we want you to have the unit so you can enjoy it, also make your returns. Yes. So basically, this is the Primark project, and this is what we've pushed to Ghanaians. And so far, as I said, 50-60% is already gone for a new project like that. Trust me, I think the 40% you should come in quick, and I'm sure by end of the year we should sell everything off. So quickly come and get your.
This guy is in the
upland
spirit.
sales.
He said I should come in. He can prophesy that I will land some money and come in.
So quickly come in and come and get your off-plan, your off-plan sales at a very good discount. As I said, the location is everything, and we are actually the highest point at airport. You get me? We are, so with all these issues we raise in Ghana and all that. Aside we having the world class, plumbing and water treatment, what's it called, technology and all that. We also are the highest point when it comes to the airport. So you're at an advantageous position. Well, it's basically closer to heaven. Imagine if you had a penthouse and just looking up.
I like that. Yeah.
And seeing God up there. Yeah. So that's the Primark project, and it's moving fast. So I encourage you to come in. And as I said, the good thing about us, we are very flexible on a lot of things. So don't let the price scare you. Come in.
We'll come.
Yeah. So our office is at the Moving Pick. We're on the 9th floor. Yes. So you can just walk in anytime and we can discuss business. Yeah.
I have just one final question for you. What is the future of the real estate industry in Ghana in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, or possibly even more?
Yeah.
How do you see it? Because we see, I mean, if you've lived in Accra the last 20, 30 years, it looks like the properties are springing up.
Yeah.
I'm sure a time will come.
Oh, there's more to come.
There's more to come. You won't see 2-bedroom houses anywhere in certain parts of Accra. It looks like all of these high-rise are just springing up all over the place.
Yeah.
How do you see the industry in the next, 10, 15, 20 years?
Well, as far as there's rapid growth in urbanization, as far as you have a lot of people moving into the middle class segment, as far as Ghana continues its trajectory of being a peaceful place to invest, I foresee that the real estate industry is really going to grow. It's really going to grow. Hence, one, regulation needs to, up its game, because you would have a lot of developers who are coming on board, and even for us, we still have a lot of projects that are coming on board. So it is growing. For the prime real estate, that I know is growing very fast. Even when you look around where your office is, Laboni didn't used to be like this. Now you move around and you see so many buildings. Same as airport. Airport didn't used to be like that. Same as cantonments. So for that segment, because there's demand for it. As I said, you have a lot of, Ghana's economy too is actually opening, and it's a very peaceful place to do your investment. So it's quite easy for you to have people to come in and do your investment. So it's going to grow. Now, for affordability, if government and then the major stakeholders in that particular ecosystem are able to help, especially with infrastructure. So because you have a lot of new suburbs growing at the outskirts of Accra, a lot of people would have wished to move in there. But then if I go there and then I don't have water, if I go there and I don't have a motorable road to use, then there's no need for me to go there. So I end up staying in Accra, whereby the congestion keeps growing, which puts burden on the facilities we already have for Accra. So infrastructure needs to move fast. Two. Developers like us need to come up with innovative and creative ways to use space, whereby we can have a lot of people in there who can basically move in and then to try and show up the what's it called, the gap. But then the gap would always be there, but then probably what we can do within the next 20 years is to reduce it, because day in and day out people are giving birth. Day in and day out, urbanization. Accra didn't used to be like this. Now
Sure.
the outskirts of Accra, you move to Tema, it goes beyond. You have Community 25, all the way. It keeps going. You have Kaswa is a whole place on its own. You get me? So infrastructure needs to need to move fast, and then developers like us to need to not only look at the luxury area, also try and also look at the affordable areas where we have governmental support, or we do some level of PPs, private public partnerships. It would also speed up this process, because the population is growing.
Sure.
And it's growing very fast.
Okay. That's what we'd rather curtains. I'm sure you've picked some tips. You know where you can find them. If you find your way to the new Mervyn Peak Hotel just by National Theatre. Maybe if you go, it's $100,000. So they'll find something for you, because I mean, every now and then we are getting these things. I mean, people want to rent, people want to buy. Some don't know what to do. Some have called and told us, we went through this person, Sikanayo. We went through this person. We had to go through an agent's. The money has become some way. We hear all of these things. So every now and then we try to bring the professionals in the industry so that you know who to get to. I mean, radio is not just about the fun part, but we want to educate and we also want to inform as well. So that through the kind of content that we run here, you can then, get through with the right people in whatever area, so that at least ultimately you would benefit from whatever opportunities that these organizations have to offer. Bello Sida Haruna is marketing commercial director for Casa Properties, and he joined us the last 45 minutes to talk up of the industry. We're going to be moving on, but we want to say thank you for coming and giving us all of this.
Sorry, if I may add, I could leave by
Sure.
our contact numbers too, so anyone who's interested could call 0244 281349. Let me repeat, 0244 281349. And they can visit our website too as well, where they'll have all the information there as well. www.primeaccragh.com. And they can follow us on our socials too, on Casa Properties, to get all the information and all the updates of what is happening at the construction site.
Okay, good one for you, especially for those of you who are in a position to start a conversation or go further beyond all the challenges that we are facing with getting a place to lay our heads. Bello, again, we want to say a big thank you for coming in, and thank you for the dedication as well. This is Class 91.3. We'll continue with our programs all the way to 10 hours GM.
Hello.
Hello, Esther. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. I can hear you.
Great. Where exactly are you?
Yes, I'm currently here at the Supreme Court where the MPP are gathered currently, and both the leaders and the members are all gathered here. At the moment, most of the leaders, such as the minority leader, the general secretary, even Kojo Upon Nkrumah, they are all here for the democracy under attack demo. So that is what is happening here right now at the Supreme Court.
What are the numbers like beyond the leadership of the party? Are there a lot more people there?
There are lots of people here. The military, the police is here. Yes, a lot of people are gathered here. And from here, we would move to the Jubilee House to present a petition.
Run me through the route again. So you are currently where?
I'm currently at the Supreme Court.
Okay, so how are they going to be navigating their way all the way to Jubilee House? Which routes are they going to be using?
We are yet to know how this will unfold, but currently we are still here for now.
You haven't moved yet, I guess.
No, we haven't.
Okay, have you perchance been able to engage any of the demonstrators on why they are there to support us?
Yes, so I tried to engage a few of them, and all they say is democracy is under attack, the NDC is misusing power and arresting people for no reason. So basically, that is what they are saying.
Is there a chance, if you are close to any of the leadership, is there a chance we can engage any one of them?
For now, I think it will be a bit difficult because they are on a stage.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll definitely be getting closer again, so that you keep us up to speed with all that's happening there. Esther, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's my colleague keeping us up to speed with the demonstration of the minority NPP. They are unhappy about a thing or two concerning our democratic space, and they want to use this platform to, if you like, let Ghanaians know about the challenges thereof. What we do understand is that they're going to be moving through that route all the way through Jubilee House, and then they would end up in certain parts.
Yes. So the position is that they are converging at the Supreme Court, and then they go through Yoko. Yoko, and then present their petition. They're actually presenting another petition at the Supreme Court to the Chief Justice.
Okay.
Then they move to Jubilee House, present another petition there. Then I'm told, yes, I think that should be the last point. So we'll look forward to that. Kwame, so that is it.
Okay. I mean, this is people would have wished that it didn't happen this day, but they have chosen to do it.
But let's also
they have the right to
understand that everybody that matters in MPP is there.
Oh, I see.
Everybody. You understand?
Yeah, of course. There are people who are lobbying for party positions and all of that. You have to go and show your face. There you don't go.
So I'm only just wondering. Director here too. I'm sure you know the problems with WAEC versus this is WAEC versus
private schools. It's a little easy. This country, there's always an issue.
I'm sure you have a very lovely conversation with the executive director because he doesn't seem to be happy with WAEC at all. Yesterday I was listening to one of their leaders, I think on the 12 Live, Kwame, what's the name? Akrofi and Lizzie engaged the lady on the side. But I realized they are not so happy. The private schools are not so happy. But the general public also have issues with the private schools. And so today I'm sure he will have a lot to say to us.
Yeah.
Now that we have the executive director himself, we will hear from
the horse's own mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We will hear from him why the concerns of some of these we will say ordinary people are still not. They think that their issues are not attended to by these private schools, especially when it comes to the exorbitant fees they charge. You understand? And people also make the point that Kwame, people make the point that how is it that why are they complaining at all? You present students to go and write
an exam.
Maybe you didn't prepare them well.
Yeah.
So why would you blame WAEC if your students have not?
They say WAEC has deliberately marked them down.
So today we would understand their issues well. So I wish you well. This man, unyan easy. So I wish you well.
Well, we'll take the conversation from there. But even before we get into all of those combos, let me make just a bit. Let me just make just a bit of money, before we start all of. National Executive Director, Ghana National Council of Private Schools, Obenfo Nana Akwesi Jetua. I hope I got the name correct. Obenfo Nana Akwesi Jetua is joining us this morning to have a conversation. And we're going to be having a lot of conversations. We are not only focusing on the BC results and the outcome and the issues or the concerns they are raising concerning the marks of their students and all of that. But we'll be touching base with that as well. Nana, good morning.
Good morning, Senior.
And I trust you're doing well. You don't look happy.
Exactly.
But you have to be happy.
It's not every day that human being you must be happy. Sometimes you need to also inform your maker that there are certain things or certain impediments in your life that must be taken away so that the happiness will be full. So yes, today I'm not looking happy, but I'm the person that I always look very cheerful and very kind to every issue. But so forgive me that today I'm appearing on your show and I don't look happy.
You're an angry man.
Should I say yes? Yes. Because deliberately things are going on that we are not. You know, if you are a leader you carry, I mean, the duties of thousands and millions of people. I represent a sector and that, I mean, deliver education to 3.9 million learners in Ghana. And we also work with, I mean, workers that are within 200,000 workers across the country. You can talk of over 22,000 private schools calling and sending text messages, emails, and all is pointing to the fact that these homes are not happy. And it doesn't end there. Their parents and that they have these social contracts with them also not happy. So the burden, if you look at the burden and if you look at the way forward, then it's very important that you come out to be seen not happy and be very angry. But all the same, once we have life, and God has assured us that there wouldn't be anything which is above us, that God will allow it to be on us. We give thanks to God. We know that a day will come, the testimony of truth will come out.
Okay, so let's get into the issues right away, and just to
Sure.
also let you know that Nana is not only the National Executive Director of the Ghana National Council of Private Schools, he's also with the Pre-Tertiary Private Education Representatives. He's also with the National Schools Inspectorate Authority and a governing council member of the National Teaching Council. You're a big man. You're doing all of this together. Now, let's start with the issue at hand. And the issue at hand obviously has to do with the release of the BC results,
Yes.
which came in somewhere last week.
Tomorrow's week.
Yeah, because when my kids' school,
okay.
shout outs to all the teachers at Faith Kids Academy at Taifa. Great job you guys have done. Yeah. My big sister owns that school.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, and the results have been fantastic. I mean, I saw her post the results of their school on their platform. They presented, I think, 21 kids, and the lowest grade was somebody with aggregate 10.
Oh, that's fine.
That's they
That's
presented.
fantastic.
It's relatively new,
Yeah.
so they presented not a very large number. But I understand you guys have an issue with how WAEC have gone about your marks, and you are not happy with a thing or two.
Okay. So
your kids have written an exam, or your students have written an exam. Those who mark your papers, you may not even know them. They have marked. The grades have not been as you expected. What is your concern there?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me say good morning to your listeners and the entire private education. Those are listening this. The point is that we obviously, ordinarily, as you said, once an exam is conducted and a feedback of the exam is communicated, there are two ways it is, unless you may not understand assessment. When you talk of assessment, it's the communication of the feedback of the learners, performance. And so by the end of the day, once that assessment communication has been given to us, ordinarily everybody will say that let us accept it and move on. But this is a peculiar issue. The issue here is that prior to the commencement of the BEC, we had put together certain indicators and systemic, grounds in order for us to be able to achieve what we are looking for. And so when the communication comes or the feedback is given to us and we reflect with our knowledge on the learners, then it becomes that no, the legitimate expectations that we are looking for are not the reflexive aspect that we are seeing. Because the only person among the stakeholders in the education that can be a credible witness to testify against the performance of the learners is a private education operator.
Why?
That the issue is that it is the school that has been with that child for a number of years. It is a school.
It doesn't matter.
It matters. I'm coming, my brother. It is a school that has performed solely on what we call formative assessment. You understand? It is a school that presented what we called the continuous assessment. And so, when a feedback is given on that, and comparatively, if you check it, you realize that no, there are deficiencies or discrepancies in it. Then you have the right to question the assessor. And so our point is that, look, there are a number of activities that we partook during prior to the commencement of the BEC. We have data that point to a different direction. And your marks also point to a different direction. So there's a point of departure. And if it's a point of departure, these are our evidence. Tell us why your assessment or feedback does not commensurate with what we have. We are rather helping.
Let me get something.
Okay.
Maybe I need some clarity
okay,
here.
Get the clarity.
You present, let's say, Nana owns Kofi Secondary School or
yes.
Kofi Primary School or
yes.
whatever.
Yes.
Let's say you've been with the students, you've taught them, you've provided all that they need. You've done mock exams, you've trained them, you've prepared them. But they go to the exam room.
Mm-hmm.
What they go to do in the exam room is out of your hands now. Although you have prepared them, they still
mm-hmm.
have to go there and perform.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have done all that you can
mm-hmm.
with the hope and belief that they will perform,
yes.
but they have gone into the room
mm-hmm.
and for whatever reason,
mm-hmm.
they couldn't, if you like, manage their way around the questions that were placed in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you compare?
Well, so that is where the problem is.
That's what I'm struggling to understand.
And that is where I am also here to explain it to you.
Okay.
It would have been a fruitless, advocacy if we don't have a convincing position of what we are saying. Before these students, wrote the BEC,
mm-hmm.
some of them had already taken part of what we called private BEC, which is conducted by the same examination.
But the questions are not the same.
I'm coming. We are not talking about the questions. We are talking about the learning. In education, we have something called the DOK, the learning levels and the difficulties in the learning. And so, if the level of assessment or in terms of the test items are measured in a certain parameters based on its fact that it is a basic education and someone has written it before by the same assessor who has gotten all the grades, right? And subsequently the person is writing it again, then there's a different ship, and the gap is not like a gap that you can say that, oh, this is just a minor gap, and so for that matter it's manageable. Someone getting aggregate 1 in mathematics, okay, in the previous private BEC is now getting aggregate 7 in the same mathematics. How do you phantom this kind of deficiency and discrepancies? And so our point is that, no. Then let us know whether we are doing something that is not right, or you also being the assessor, you also did something that is not right. And the best position for us to be able to ascertain this is the availability of the script.
In the past, when you were doing well, you never asked for the scripts.
It is not in the past when we were doing well, because when we were doing well, it was commensurating with the knowledge and the kind of expectation we have taken our children through. That is it. Because in terms of assessment, there is a formative assessment and there's cumulative assessment. So the formative assessment is the education deliver that prepares the child for that, for a longer period of time. And the education deliver is aware of each and every one standard That is why in some schools they will tell you that there's no need for us to promote you. Even probably your age is even higher than your age, your classmates. But your academic performance or the kind of quality that we are looking from you does not help us to promote you. And so every school presenting a child is aware, one way or the other, the range and the category the child will be coming out with. And so if you are not aware, then what makes us educationists?
Are you suggesting that kids from the private school with the greatest of respect, are you suggesting they cannot fail?
That is not our position.
I'm
Because
only asking.
there has been so many years that case in the private schools have failed. But this year particular instance is so wide. Let me give you one example.
Give me.
There's a child in a Tebubu mountain who has been one of the best in terms of maths and science quiz. You know, at the basic level, there's also maths and science quiz that they do. The child has been one of the best in the district. Even we have cluster, the district, the region has come to national to be the second in terms of maths and science quiz has been awarded. Even as the child was in basic 7, basic 8, he has done the same. He wrote the pre-BEC, he got 1. This time the child got aggregate 6 in science. So such a child, and I am a school owner, I'm the administrator of the school, I should accept it hook, line and sinker because it is coming from an assessment body. No.
Don't you have a marking scheme and all of that at that level?
So for us to be able to believe, because don't forget that we are only giving score.
Yes.
We are not privy to the script. Okay? So such kind of position, I must be able to see the script in order for me to be convinced. But holding on to the script and saying that this is the score I have given to you, I will not understand that.
Are you not, if you do, I'm not saying you don't have the right to do that, but are you also not opening or going to open a Pandora's box there? If every time we are done with a BC and the results do not go with the greatest of respect like you want, then give me the papers.
Exactly.
I want to see.
No.
So every year, then give me the papers.
It brings accountability and transparency. Taking money from me and assessing me, you don't communicate to me only the score.
But you've never complained about this in the past.
We never complained because the marks were commensurating with the academic performance that we are aware of the learners.
Because it was going in your favor.
It isn't so. It is just like, you know that when you go to this hospital, you'll be treated of the ailment that you are suffering from. And yes, indeed, you got there. The ailment is being treated. The next time, if they did not treat you the way you want it, you have the question to answer or ask the medical, professional, his or her credibility in terms of the prescription or the medication that he took you through. And that is it. That is it. It's the same way.
Nana, again, staying with us.
Yeah. I just want us to be on that. Yes.
I have heard of all kinds of stories. I don't have any proof of some of these things, so I wouldn't even want to mention them.
Okay.
But one of them keeps coming up all the time.
Okay.
All the time. Because this is not the first time we're having it looks like every time there's BC and it's over, we have this conversation. So one, the very first one is the fact that these days there is a crazy level of competition among the private schools. So, for example, in location A, there are 10 private schools. 1 or 2 of them want their schools to always get the numbers because that's where they make their money. So they'll do anything possible, and I'm sure you've heard these things.
Yeah, I've heard
do anything possible
to sabotage the other schools.
Not even sabotage. I mean, for want of a better expression, they find a way of assessing the questions. I have heard that here.
As to have access to the questions.
How they do it, I don't know.
But even on that score, I don't want you to let's address.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you've heard these things.
Yes,
I've even heard, was it last year or last 2 years? There was even a case where we are told a parent called not on air but off air, and told us that in a certain location, let's say the paper is supposed to start, you normally start around 9, thereabouts. So by 8 or so, the papers are in the school, or maybe earlier. The schools find a way. They take care of some people. They find it, and they accuse the private schools a lot. They take care of some people. They have access to the questions. Then the next thing you see is that they take all the children and go and put them in some corner of the school by 7 o'clock.
All those have been hearing it.
Yeah. And then they quickly solve the question. So that is why over the years, the private schools appear to be passing. And this year, they have squeezed you small. You are complaining.
Let me ask you this question. Let me use this same way to answer your question. If we accept the fact that exams is going to be conducted around 9 o'clock and say 7:30, the papers are available, the first body in the hierarchy, and in terms of even a portion of proportionate of punishment that we should ask is the assessment body, because I don't set the questions. You understand? Do I set the questions?
We haven't said so.
Do I hold the keys to the questions?
But you know somebody.
No. Do I hold the keys to the questions?
But you know somebody.
No. The point is that I know everybody in this country, and everybody is aware of me. But I cannot come to your room if you have not allowed me to come to your room.
But is it right?
No. The point is that why do you have to allow me to come to that room?
Because you do affairs.
No, you see, let us agree, let us put it in the right perspective so that we can blame the stakeholders, because all that we are trying to do is that we want transparency, we want equitable, we want fairness in our educational system. It is not just like someone is going to do it and then we accept it. I don't set questions. I don't have the keys to the questions. I am not the transporter of the questions. Now, proud to the commencement of the question, let us even assuming, admit or say that it is true. Without admitting, the questions are in the schools. Does it mean that I am the one who transported the questions to the schools? No. The question is that how possible that you being the assessor, you allow yourself for you to be maneuvered? Because let me tell you something. It's like we are voting. You are conducting elections. And you are the polling agent or representative of YEC. And you are allowing yourself for the voters to do multiple voting. And you come and blame that, oh, they did multiple voting. Have you carried your mandate well? Who has the statutory mandate to conduct examination? You see, and so the point is that all those things that they have been talking about are fabrications.
You are saying they are not true.
I'm telling you. Let me give you an example. They start pointing figures on private school. When was the last time that the invigilators and people that they have been caught and they have been able to prosecute them, find them and sentence them? Name one of them that is a private school tutor. Name one of them. Just recently, there are cases that are ongoing, that some of them are standing at a trial at the district courts and circuit courts and all that. Let us do a search and find out that the 50, invigilators and then the crooks that they arrested them, among them, where are they coming from? Their origination. I don't want to mention a sector, but we all know where they belong. But one thing I can attest to the fact that none of them is a private school tutor. And so the evidence on the table point to the fact that whatever everyone is saying, it's baseless. It doesn't have any evidential burden to prove it.
Now let's go a bit from the base again.
Yeah,
a bit from the base.
Yes.
The children is prepared to go and write an exam.
Sure.
So it will start with the training of the child.
Yes.
One of the concerns I have heard that has been raised against a fair bit of private schools, not all of them, is that these days, some of you proprietors, or I don't know, director general, school owners, whatever titles they have, some of them have become very greedy. Instead of hiring qualified teachers, certificate A teachers, graduate teachers, they are hiring SS leavers, people with the greatest of respect, people with not the very highest levels of credentials,
pedigree to be able to
teach them.
Yeah.
So now it's just a case of you meet a kid who is in Form 2, Form 3 going to write GSS, BC exam.
Yeah.
And respectfully, their knowledge on a number of issues leave a lot to be desired.
Exactly.
Compared to maybe years ago, where a kid who was in GSS 1, 2, 3, the child was loaded with credentials, and the child was prepared. Like when you engage a child like this, very knowledgeable, understands the issues, you are very confident that this child 10 ones, and the 10 ones will come, 9 ones, and then 9 ones will come. But these days we are
the influx. You are trying to say that the influx is too much. The point is that you see, and I like this conversation because it opens up a certain kind of national policy discussion. First of all, there's a law that says that if you are not a professional teacher, you cannot call yourself as a teacher. And who is a professional teacher? A professional teacher is someone who has done basic education and he has sat for licentiate exam and has passed, conducted by NTC. And so there was a time when the former Director General of Ghana Education Service was appointed. All of us, I personally raised a concern that someone who has not gone through education system, how is it possible for such a person to be a Director General for Ghana Education Service? Because the law prescribes punishment for such people. You understand? But the fact is that when you even go to the government schools, there are 30,000 untrained teachers in the government sector. Likewise, the same way that when you come to the private schools, we have over 70% of the workforce that have not been able to attain their professional career. But the question is, so what are you doing? As we speak to you now, there are interventions that we have put in place to ensure that such teachers become professional teachers. And that
but
is what,
they are still there.
Yes, because let me give you one example. When you say a teacher, you become best when you are being trained on the job. And adding, because the teaching profession sit on three key pillars: professional knowledge, professional standards, and professional, practice. Professional knowledge is what you acquire from the teaching institutions, that is the universities. But after that, after you have the content, you need the professional practice. How do you solve complex issues like a parent, an aggrieved parent, wanting to come to school to cause a havoc in the school? How do you solve it? You speak Ga, but you've gone to a community that they speak Ewe. How do you, adjust and become part and parcel of them? You are a Muslim, but you are teaching in a Christian school. How do you adjust in terms of cultural and religious dynamism? These are the things that you get when you are on the field. And then we have professional standards. The standard is what is broken now, where teachers are sleeping with, ladies and their students and all that. Some of the teachers. And so if you look at the 3 pillars that qualifies a teacher, it is not only the professional, academic performance or academic records that qualifies you, even though it is one of the pillars. And so what we do is that there's an MOU that has been signed with the government, that institutions like UEW, UCC, and all that are training the teachers through distance education, because we are also giving them life. They are also Ghanaians. Assuming government has been able to set up a conducive environment for all of them to be able to go to school, I don't believe that these, teachers who are not trained would have found themselves in the classrooms. And so the regulator is aware. NASIA is aware that these teachers that are there are not qualified teachers, both public and private. However, they've been able to put career progression interventions for them. And so, if you don't follow that, you may miss the mark. And so, it's not like the previous where everybody is saying that, no, I'm not a professional teacher, and I think I would, because I know a number of teachers who decided not to upgrade themselves, and today they are out of the system. So, my brother, it is a national policy discussion that we are looking at it here. Let me also take you on something like, you see, where are we now? We are in Laboni, right?
Yes.
Mention private schools, or if you don't even want to mention, because of adverse sake and other policy regulations sake, just cut your mind across. Do you see how many private schools in this catchment area vis-a-vis public schools in this catchment area?
It's fairly balanced.
You will realize that majority of the area is spring up with what? Private schools.
Yes.
So you ask yourself, what will feed, what kind of educational standard, what kind of education platform will feed those here if private schools are not here? So the question is that it is the duty of the government, every government, to provide basic needs for their citizens. And one of the basic needs is delivery of education, which is a fundamental human rights duty. Government has not been able to put infrastructures in all aspects in this country to absorb that. The policy is even that every 500 meters, there should have been a school. That is a policy, if you read the FKIP policy. And so, all these are not in place. So it is rather the private schools fulfilling the gap, so that a learner who lives at Laboni here will now have access to quality education.
Which is fair, but it also provided some of you with an opportunity to also make some good money.
The Constitution. Let me give you. I think yesterday or some days ago, when somebody was arguing on this, and I took my time to educate the person. Oh, private schools are business people. If you have your Constitution here, go to Article 25, Clause 2. There are key words over there that cannot be taken away from us.
Article 25,
Clause 2. Yes, I want you to read. And before you read, it says that, as you are reading to confirm, it says that a person has the right to establish and maintain a school. And so when you say maintain and establish, what does it mean?
Go ahead, I'm still looking for it.
What it means is that, one, the Constitution has recognized that there must be a private participation.
Okay,
in Ghana.
so all persons shall have the right to equal educational opportunities and facilities with a view to achieving the full realization of their rights.
Go to the
one.
two.
But it has some subs. So
Yes.
the two says every person shall have the right at his own expense
Great.
to establish and maintain a
Great.
private school or schools at all levels and of such categories in accordance with such conditions as may be provided. So you have the right to establish the school,
And-
but you also need to provide the conditions that will make the kids excel.
Exactly. And the
Including
condition.
hiring good teachers.
No, but you've missed one word. We will get there. The one word is to maintain. You were asking that your question was the question that warrant this quotation was that
establish and maintain.
we will take opportunity. You said we take opportunity to make money.
So you use the money to maintain.
Exactly.
But you take
so
some of you take ridiculous money.
But you know that we are taxed by GRA, and GRA comes there to conduct assessment. before we pay our annual taxes. And it is the duty of the GRA to say that you have taken more than what it is. So probably will not. But ask yourself, what kind of market economy that we operate in Ghana here? How will your regulator come to Class FM and say that charge advert in this rate? Looking at how beautiful this place is. Look at the air conditions that we are sitting in.
So you are given the liberty to charge what you want.
Look at the air conditions that we are sitting in. I went to one studio. There's only one Mac. And such a studio, how would they be able to charge equivalent to you? Or you'll be asked to charge equivalent to the same. You go to the tomato market. There are ones that are in the fridge, icy, but they are all tomato coming from Akumadan. The ones are also on the panning tray. It is on the floor. So you choose, because you have the right to choose education.
So we are choosing to come to your schools.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, this year it has not worked. You are shouting and shouting.
It's not. You see where you are going.
One year that it hasn't worked, you are shouting.
So we have the right to maintain, and some of the right is that we maintain academic, and we need to call for accountability for those that assess us, so that we can maintain our schools.
So you charge high school fees and you hire an SS leaver to come.
I'm telling you, if even we are supposed to charge fairly in a sense that we are charging based on things that we provide, and we are not lower charging, my brother, the cost of private education would have been so much expensive. Do you know how much government spent on each and every child at the basic education? Let us even take the capitation grant. How much is capitation grant? Assuming it is 5 cedis a day, multiply it by 73 days, times the number of students that are in the class, including the teaching and resources that the government is paying, school feeding, everything. You realize that by the end of the day, within the year, government has spent more than 2,000 on each and every child. Ask me, how many Ghanaians that pays an average school fees of 2,000 within a year? And so, my brother, the question that every people are saying, oh, private schools, we are doing this, we are doing that, we are doing this, are not. I mean, we are all sitting on the fence. Sometimes we throw in some to know. It is interesting because we are also responsible to account to the state. The people have given us a constitutional mandate. We are working within that constitutional mandate. And for that matter, you cannot dwell on it to do whatever you want. But assuming, this morning we're having an interesting conversation that assuming we have government has just absorbed about 7,000 graduates into the government schools, and we have about 90,000 sitting at home waiting for employment, right? Assuming government is saying that, okay, I'm giving you these teachers, I'm taking care of their salaries, and so therefore we want to regulate your school fees. Who will not accept this?
I'm sure you know Mr. John Kapi.
Yes, I know him.
Okay. We've been trying to raise him on a line for him to join us in this conversation, but it looks like he's very busy.
Okay.
But I mean, his stance appears to be very clear to my producers.
Mm-hmm.
You guys say you can't wrap your head around the results.
Yes.
You know what you have done with your students.
Yes.
You know how you have prepared them.
Yes.
You have expectations and all of that.
Yes.
So, are you in a position to provide evidence?
But we'll provide evidence to a third party, not WAEC. Why should we provide evidence to a party that we are in contention?
WAEC is the conductor of the exam.
And that is why, if we are certified with it, would we have any issue? We'll provide. That is why we are calling for an independent body.
From where?
Not. but even former president are being called to independent bodies to come and testify or account on their duties.
You are accusing me. So it's only fair.
It is not you that I should give you evidence. I will show you evidence in front of a third party. That is how we conduct business. How do you want me to come to you because I am accusing you and come and show you that these are my accusations? We are saying that You have given us score, and we are saying we are not happy with it. We've called the ministry to set up an independent body so that we come with our evidences. That is all.
Do you trust WAEC when it comes to the organization of these
We
exams?
are saying that we are not happy with the kind of results that they have given to us this year.
But have you trusted them all through the period?
My brother, whether we trust that you can marry a woman and one day you can, divorce you. So what do you, is a trust a sustainable thing? Trust is not sustainable. It depends on what you do.
Is the trust broken now?
That is why we are calling for an independent body.
Because next year you write.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They are performing statutory duty. It doesn't matter whether I fought with you and you are the one serving water. I will come and buy. Whether if you feel that you don't want to serve me, then drop your business so that another person will come and take it. Because once you take a statutory duty, you must be accounted for.
I'll take you back to the previous question I asked you. Because we have just about 2 minutes to wrap up.
That's fine.
WAEC is going to be doing this for until we get to a point where maybe other parties come in when it comes to the organization of exams.
Where the problem
you need to trust their judgment.
It doesn't matter, my brother. You see, trust is based on what we see.
What have you seen?
What we have seen is that the records that has been given to our children
this year,
it does not commensurate the kind of performance that they know. Why is it that every year you give us records, we are happy, and today we are not happy? You're not ready to say that. Do we have evidence?
When you were happy, you were not asking for results.
But have you ever seen that a happy man crying on the streets before? Have you ever seen such things before? There are certain things that are conventional, and we need not to use it as a basis to judge a certain legitimate question.
You don't want to take this as a bad day at the office.
Not
this year, it didn't work. So
no,
next year
you see, there was even 30%. And so the WAEC should stop saying that we should bring evidence to them. And have said it openly. Yesterday, that was the ministry. I said that we won't give them any evidence. We will show the evidence to a third party. We want an independent. You see, I am having an issue with you. Mm-hmm. We can't say that we don't have any issue. If we don't have any issue with them, they wouldn't also come out and respond. Mm. So their response means that they also have an issue with us. And we are okay. It's good to have issues in life. So we have issues with you. Why do you want me to come to you and say that these are my evidence? How? Who's among any reasonable institution who do that?
But we have an issue. Let's solve it.
We'll find a way to solve it. But this time around, we can solve it within an independent body serving as a reconciliator or a mediator will be able to solve it.
The kids are choosing their schools now.
We are not fighting for BEC placement. You see, placement, it has its own issues that we are working with it. I'm part of the committee that did the entire review of the placement, trying to release the results for you to see your results before you choose your school and all. I'm a big stakeholder in education. And so I understand it. And so we are not talking about placement. As we speak now, students are choosing their schools. We are talking about the fact that their grace, the score, that's not
proper.
Exactly. And so we will just call for an independent body.
It doesn't look like at this point there is an agreement on that. How long do you intend to push this?
We want to serve prosperity. We want to serve the younger generation for fairness, for them to be able to get what they are meant for. We don't want to serve people and then just leave. And so probably this year, the answers may not be there, but based on the argument that we are putting and the step that we are taking, our ultimate goal is to have a regulator for WAEC. We are tired of today, exams is leaked. We are tired of today, exams is cancelled. We are tired of today, this. We need to have a regulator that regulates the work of WAEC so that at any point in time, if there is any issue, that regulator will be called to come and solve the challenge. How do you, an implementer, become a regulator at the same time?
Okay, I guess these are issues that will be handled by your team together with Bayek, and at some point you cannot reach an agreement. But we'll be keeping tabs on this and we'll see how this goes. Obenfo Nana Kwesi Yetua has been our guest. He's the National Executive Director of the Ghana National Council of Private Schools, GNACOPS, pre-tertiary private education representative. He's a governing council member, the National Schools Inspectorate Authority, NASIA, and is also a governing council member, the National Teaching Council. We see how this thing goes, and we'll be following with keen taps. This is where we draw the curtains on today's edition of the show. Thank you for doing the watching, the listening, and thanks for your text and your calls. God willing, we'll be here same time tomorrow between 5:50 and 10 a.m.